set me back again. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape. Take me back to you. Just shake the ground. Oh, this lightness, it will fill the air around. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape.
You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. Don't just stop it. Doing what you do. When I lay back, holding on to you. Ooh, ooh, feel like something new. Here on overload, all my body is for you to hold. Ooh, 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 feel like something new, yeah. And I never thought that you got me wanting. Never thought that something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. I feel like I'm in another galaxy. Take my time in your eternity. Ooh, 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 feel like something new. Thought that
acting that's so overrated. Yeah, if you make one, you will fall. Too much of a temptation. Yeah, there's a comfort in the crawl. Now I've been on my feet too long. I know I'm strong, just looking for some solid ground, so I can start to run. I don't wanna be tired, moving so bad, tired. I don't wanna be tired. Feels like it's my time. I don't need you now. Don't you waste your time. Don't you waste your
Yeah. La 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 la. Yeah. Your life hits hard, but I hit right back. I never back down, I keep it on track. It's the same day with no problems. I keep rising from the bottom, 'cause when the sun comes up and I look around, I can feel that love, I can hear that sound. They're never gonna hold me down, I'm higher than the ceiling now. And then I need to worry about, 'cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright. It's was a war. Yeah, it kinda took a while. When they tell me I should stay, I just jump with a smile. Yeah, it's hard until you notice. Everybody's got their moment. When the sun comes up and I look around, I can feel that love, I can hear the sound. Listen up. They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now.
Welcome back to the ESL Challenger League, where we are ready for our European game of the day. And this one is high stakes indeed. It's Rush B taking on Spirit Academy, and the winner of this books their spot in the playoffs. Loser headed down to that consolidation final for one more try. I'm Darth Mike. This is Alan Hender. Alan, we have a treat for us. We've got apparently, according to reports today, the next Falcon in the server.
And not Munazi, the other one, Kiyosuke.
The other one.
It should be intriguing, but, aside from just him, it's needless to say, Mike, that 1, 2, maybe 3 of the players on these two teams, these will be star players in the next 2 to 3 years. It's absolutely guaranteed, pretty much at this point. So, in terms of raw individual talent and the star names in the making, you probably couldn't ask for a better matchup, to be honest.
No, you certainly couldn't. I mean, we discovered for ourselves Donk, Zontix in this team, in Spirit Academy, in this tournament, the ESL Challenger League, when we watched them make their path through to the final. So definitely raw, young talent galore. And there's a lot of it over on the Rush B side as well. Over on the B stream, you got another game. It's the Copenhagen Wolves taking on, apparently, the Counter-Strike symbol. So... make of that what you will. That is the ex-Aurora squad, as Aurora is now what once was Eternal Fire. So if you want to see Grix and Kinsey and Norvi, that's over on the B stream. Another name that's starting to perk up some ears around the space in Grix. But we're going to focus on Kiyosuke and the gang here in Spirit Academy, because I think there's a lot to like. I mean, the obvious comparison that everyone makes is to Donk, just in terms of everybody wants to know who's the next Donk, where's the next Donk. That's the exciting buzz phrase on everybody's lips. I don't know if he's Donk, but he is damn good at Counter-Strike.
Oh, certainly. And there will be a lot of people watching him in a different light now because, it's one thing being the best player on, let's say, the 80th best team in the world and being incredible mechanically and, running over teams, doing what you like. But if we're having a discussion of jumping up to tier 1 competition, we need to see good fundamentals, good decision making. We need to see a basis for that play that will translate, because once you get into the upper echelons, I'm sorry, individual skill is just assumed pretty much, outside of maybe in-game leaders, and even then, as we're seeing, the threshold is only going up and up. So yeah, there'll be a lot of eyes on Kiyosuke, and I hope for his sake that individually it doesn't make a big difference. I hope he just continues playing his fabulous CS he has played in the last 6 months to a year.
I mean, still just 17 years old. It's interesting as well, right? Because he was a name that some people were tabbing as potentially making a jump up to the main Spirit squad before they went on that run to win the Shanghai Major. Kind of feels reminiscent, maybe not even of a Donk situation, but of more of a Monacy situation when he was in Navi Academy, where it's not that you don't believe in the talent if you're Spirit, it's that you're not quite sure that there's a spot to replace somebody with him. And so now it seems that Kiyosuke is going to be going beyond their doors, and you do hope for Spirit's sake that it's not going to be a Monacy situation where maybe that name haunts you for a good few years. But but I'm sure they're going to be well compensated for their trouble. And for Kyosuke, it is that huge opportunity to now apparently play with Monacy. So exciting for that. But we'll talk about this match for now. He's still here for the time being. The future, it's not yet. It's the present. And we've got our veto. We got Nuke, we got Anubis, we got Ancient as a decider. How do you feel about that, Alan?
Let's have a look. Perma's out. The pick for Rush B, could they have gone a different direction? The only other option would have been Train. And it's been a bit topsy-turvy for them. They lost the last two against BC Game and Sashi. So I guess that's the logic, is Train was the only other choice for a pick. Instead, they're going into Nuke. So I think all in all, Spirit Academy, they like all three of these maps, particularly Anubis and Ancient. I think they would have been more uncomfortable on Train, but Rush B just aren't feeling it right now. It hasn't been good from their end for the last few games.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be concerning here. I'm very curious.
Is this even a matchup where we care about the maps? Isn't this all about the individuals? Like, I just want to
it's
see,
about the firepower, man.
Clicking heads. That's what.
And I mean, on the other side, you've got Oodles, a young talent as well.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're looking at it, we were actually talking about this in the pregame, but you have Kinky, who is 33 and has been around the scene for a very long time, and then his next closest teammates is 11 years his junior in, I think, Zinni, and then everybody else is like going down below that. So there's oodles of young talent here. Texley, the youngest of them at 17, another name to be keeping an eye on, as it does just feel like if you turn over a rock in the CIS region, you will turn up a young 17-year-old who can shred headshots like it's nothing.
Absolutely. It's been ridiculous, of course, over the last, 5-6 years, just basically since Gambit showed up. The number of young talents that can just progress right to the top of the scene and seemingly have no problem. Interesting kind of quirk for both of these teams is, despite being where they are in the rankings and particularly their region, very few roster moves. Spirit Academy essentially unchanged from the team they became after the promotions to the main team for those players, and they rejigged the lineup. Yeah. Pretty much the same lineup now for the last 10 months. And for Rush B, just one change in the last, 16 months? And that's Zinni, who right now looks like their best player. So incredible stability, really incredible stability for teams at this level.
It kind of was as well the same approach that Spirit Academy did to that previous Spirit Academy roster, the Art Frost Zontix roster, where they kind of it's almost like an incubator, right? You put them in this environment and you let them cook for a year, and then you open up the hatch or the lid and you see what's hatched, and then you send them out into their various stints, promote them up, sell them on, whatever it is. But this does feel like it's, Sotfik's finishing school for Counter-Strike. You come in, Sotfik teaches you how to play the game to his standards, you graduate at the end, and you're moving into tier 1.
I mean, it's worth saying that for an academy team, this is not the norm. The norm is that you, of course, hold on to your best players. The best, let's say, 3 players, the best prospects in your team, particularly the younger ones, you're going to hold on to in the hopes that they go to the main team, they get bought out, they give you options for stand-ins in the future. But in terms of the players that aren't quite performing, they normally just get cycled out. And you just almost, why wouldn't you? It's an academy team, you wanna find the hot prospects. But Spirit Academy have been very resolute with their players. They haven't made that many moves over the last 2-3 iterations of their teams. It's a different look. And yeah, I mean, there's a few ways to look at it. I mean, one side of it has to be that the confidence you need to have in your players when you pick them up, and keep in mind they're not that experienced in terms of Team Counter-Strike. They must have a really good, a very nailed down recruiting process to go this long with the same players when they're essentially untested before signing them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Spirit's put a lot of emphasis on their coaching. I mean, that's Overdrive's whole involvement with the team, to my knowledge. And then, I think they put a lot of faith in Sotfik. And I imagine you've also just got a lot of leeway based on how good the results have been so far, where it's basically like, yeah, okay, nope, you do you. Like, we will put faith in you. And especially, at least so far, I mean, just looking at the raw numbers and looking at the tape and looking at the way the conversation's been, obviously it's worked to incubate at least one more mega talent in Kyosuke, where people are getting very excited. And so even if maybe you're not quite getting the eye-popping numbers off of other players, incubating that one megastar is well worth maintaining the Academy project. Does seem like we're just going to have a little bit of delay here, so thanks for bearing with us on this podcast of Academy teams.
We'll keep going.
It's honestly a super interesting prospect because...
to kind of come off your point, I wonder if somewhat of the logic is that having someone like Kyosuke playing in a very stable environment means that, yes, maybe you could upgrade one or two of the other players, but are you getting more out of him by having the same team, having good communication, learning what it is to play with players for a long time and understand how they rotate, how they move, how to communicate? There's a very valid argument that for the best players on that team alone, it's going to make them better.
Yeah, I think that's 100% valid. And I think that, I don't know the numbers. I have no clue what the numbers is, but one of the advantages of Academy projects is that because you're picking up completely untested raw talents, generally speaking, your salary numbers are going to be very affordable. 17-year-old Kyosuke is not needing to pay a ton of bills. He's taking presumably a very reasonable salary in as being part of this project, because part of the payoff is that he is going to get that experience. He is going to come through the system that created Donk, and he is going to get that kind of a resume coming out the other side, as we're now seeing, selling on to an organization that we know pays about the highest salaries in the scene, as far as we know. So you have that advantage of running a relatively tight budget, where if you're selling one player out of that year cycle for the numbers that they're probably selling Kyosuke on for, it's got to justify your Academy budget 10 times over, realistically.
In orders of magnitude higher. And again, I mean, from a Spirit perspective, you need a stand-in for one tournament because Magix is ill, because Ontix is whatever, having a visa problem. You're probably still going to place top 8. And that alone pays for the Academy team, just off price.
Yeah. And in a world of, this was the conversation a few years ago for a lot of organizations, and then just other organizations have struggled or failed to maintain their rosters. But in a world of a reported $2 million, $2.5 million buyout for Monacy, when you consider the numbers that are being thrown out, obviously Monacy is a peak player. He's not replicable outside of maybe the top 3 players in this game. That is a unique circumstance. But when you consider the numbers that get thrown around for players that are in the top 20, 30, 50 players, it's astonishing sums of money at this point, where if you can maintain an Academy team and maybe turn over one transfer every 2 years, that's still going to be saving you money in the long run, most likely, if you're a top-end team trying to procure top-end talents.
Don't forget the team I used to coach, Endpoint, for a long time. It was
humble farmers at Endpoint.
Yeah, we do. We farm, we grow, and they are thriving.
Taking Israeli saplings and planting them in plentiful British earth.
Why fix what isn't broken? It works. They burgeon. Well, but yeah, some people will somewhat disparage teams for selling players and being business focused, but you got to respect it. In this scene as well, the numbers of top organizations that are running at a loss, backed by private investment and looking towards massive long term and establishing whatever a fan base, even at the loss of money. Well, there's these other teams that are doing the opposite, and Spirit's doing good stuff.
It's I think it's absolutely the sign of a healthy ecosystem when you have these transfers and the money flowing down as a result of that. But I think Spirit's situation is also somewhat unique in that because they've had so much success in the course of the last couple of years, both in Counter-Strike and I believe in other teams as well, you do have maybe a little bit more of that luxury to create an ideal ecosystem and sustain it, because you do have the results coming in from the top end. So Perhaps that's the luxury, or you can look at it the other way and say that creating that ideal ecosystem leads to the results. Hard to say. There is also that X factor of just Dunk is an absolute freak of a prodigy. So hard to separate the cart from the horse, I think, in that conversation. But hey, if you find the next Dunk, it's well worth it.
Well, yeah. If you find another prodigy, yeah, it surely makes it worth it. Well, we'll update you guys as soon as we get information, but we'll just plow on because why not? I think an interesting conversation with some of these teams is now that Aurora has not got their existing lineup anymore and changed to Eternal Fire, you've just added a load of really good players into the player pool for teams like this. I mean, maybe not Spirit Academy, but in terms of the scene as a whole, a Rush B, maybe they get a really good player who's just now on the bench, not playing for anyone.
Perhaps, definitely a conversation, right? The likes of Pat Kenzie, Norvi, Grix. I think there was some rumor that they might have some interested parties, but yes, there is some talent out there. We'll focus on the talent in the underway. We have things exchanged outside, and we have some entries in towards the upper bomb site. Bomb looking to be planted. Kinky still alive and up here, but he's losing teammates left, right, and center. Alco Ren making sure of that. And oh my goodness, off the dualies. He ain't missing. 4 kills to the name. Alco Ren strong on those dual Berettas.
Yeah, you wonder if they only heard us speaking about Kiyosuke in the pregame. And they're like, do not overlook the rest of this team. What a pistol round from this young man. That was fabulous. Rush B, they had pretty good positioning. They just got absolutely shredded. Absolutely mowed down. Now it's them on the eco. Just the Glocks in play. Single upgraded pistol on Kinky himself. Still expecting Spirit Academy to go up 2-0. And as a reminder, there was the veto was a bit of a while ago. Nuke is Rush B's pick, but we're not framing it as a lock for them by no means. It's a pretty even map statistically between these teams, and I guess you'd favour Spirit Academy just on the basis that they should be a stronger team in the first place.
Yeah. Hard to say. I mean, the results certainly haven't been as dominant as the previous Spirit Academies run at ECL. There's a reason why they are in the lower pool of this second stage. Kills coming in for Sypho. Eventually run out of bullets, but apparently enough bullets to get the job done. And Alcoran hungry to make sure of that. So they keep it clean in this one. Nicely done for the Spirit squad.
Alcoran sounds like the name of a Skyrim dragon or something. Something like that. Some sort of
Alcoran.
Yeah, mythological. Maybe slightly kind of Norse sounding as well.
Throw up! Yeah, I could see it. Alduin was the big bad.
Yeah, maybe that's why I'm
in Skyrim.
I'm leaning that way.
That's what's evoking for you. Sypho dives down early, breaks the glass, but they are just running in, and now there's no ramp presence. So this is a bit of a misread for Spirit, but they will be decently positioned to deal with it. They're wary that a vent drop could have come in, but there is none. So maybe some wasted action economy here. Oh boy!
Oh god!
All right, just get clothesline through the smoke. How do you get back into this?
You don't. You
How
save.
do you get stuck back into this round?
These guns are too valuable. It's a full investment if you keep at least 2 of these alive. And guys, you're not winning this. Keep the rifles going. Kiyosuke needs to get out before he becomes too exposed. Fortunately, the door is not blown. Wow. Absolutely overwhelmed. It's pretty rare you see first gun round straight up ramp rush from the T side.
Yeah, I mean, it was clearly totally unexpected by Spirit Academy. They were trying to set up some sort of fast play in towards Secret and then just Rush B blow the doors off. I mean, they did live up to their name, Alan.
Yeah. It's hard, easier said than done as well on map like Nuke. Be easier a little bit later on some of those other maps. But yeah, absolutely. Certainly saw Spirit Academy was just absolutely scrambling with their rotations. They really needed their B-side player to stay alive longer. The player that was ramp that fell, but just too overwhelmed.
Yeah, Sypho getting caught there. Didn't have the utility to stall it. Devoted to Molotov. Again, this seemed to be the confusion. I don't know what was thrown exactly up top, but it looked like something was thrown to convince him that a vent dive could have come in. Because Sypho was mollying single door while his teammates were coming down the vent. So if that molly gets deployed to one side of ramp, maybe they stay alive a little longer, but hard to say without perfect information. And I certainly wouldn't have had that. One smoke for the outer walk.
Look at the call, Mike. They're playing 0 ramp. They're saying you're not going to do it again.
That's true.
That's mad. That is absolutely mad.
He's gone back to check it, but you're right. If it was a rush, this would have again been a massively exposed gap. And now Sypho's checking up secret instead. And there's bodies here. He's been spotted. Nates to chase. And they're going to pressure ramp, it looks like. 2 players stacking up. It's on Alcaran. Support from Kyosuke. Alcaran lets one through. I don't believe he's been spotted yet. Oh, now he has, and that's a little bit awkward. The doors of B are opened. And a numbers advantage here for Rush B as well. You need something out of Sypho if they're going to give this an attempt, because there's just not the util for the retake.
Why has nobody bought a kit as well? Could get pretty exciting should it go to a late retake. I don't think there's a kit down here.
No.
But still, with the numbers deficit, Robo is just on the upper side of the map. He's clearing garage. They don't look primed for this for me. They're just going to save again. Can just about force out a buy. Maybe one player having to relent onto a lesser weaponry. But yet again, ramp, granted in a very different fashion this time, is exposed and overwhelmed.
That just felt like, again, like missing the timing on ramp, right? Alcaran tries to shift up from behind the orange box. Clearly not aware that a player had already gotten out. Little awkward there. And at least so far, Rush B have totally circumvented Kyosuke. He dies in the pistol round, but otherwise, he hasn't pulled his trigger. He just hasn't gotten a chance. They've been forced into a save in every round.
If you lay that out on a blackboard, it does sound like the best strategy for playing Spirit Academy.
Yeah.
Do not fight him. Recommended.
So where's the shift up in focus here? You can't keep ignoring ramp. That's been your Achilles heel now for 2 rounds. So this time they'll put everybody in ramp, Alan.
Well, that's going to go double secret by the looks of it, and leave ramp open at the start. It's an inner rush on the flip side, and actually this site isn't that well defended. Still, though, frags hurtling the way of Spirit Academy. It is just an eco round around the saves for them, so this could have pretty dire consequences if Rush B can't turn this around.
Hero's low. The player up the vent was just a USP, so it's no huge crime to have lost him. They will have to go for the bomb plant. Dink up onto Sypho. Molotov will make sure that that Heaven player can't peek, and the resmoke here might just give them the window to get this bomb down, and that changes the complexion of this, because again, no kit in this round either. Getting the player up the vents, that's Kyosuke, that's challenging, so Robo needs to try and create some space. Right now, there is a window allowed. Should have a good confirmation of it. Yes, the players are up. They've lost the pistol threat from on high. They gotta get a move on. They gotta get a move on. Awkward fights indeed. Just running out of clock here, running out of bodies. And Kiki's going to make sure they're running out of the round.
What a topsy-turvy round.
Again, with this double secret play. They've got one idea, and they are really committed to bringing it through, it feels.
This time it's going to work. The one thing that's really disrupted Spirit Academy is that there's a lot of focus on outer. And these rounds so far, the primary thrust from Rush B has not been outer. It's been 2 ramp rounds. Now a fast, squeaky round. The confusing part about that round was Spirit Academy, despite not having many players on A, won a lot of the early fights. I think it was a 4-on-2 briefly. They probably should have won that round. And they will be kicking themselves for not getting more out of it.
Yeah. Most decidedly. Even with the limited guns, if you just play together. Home with crosshair numbers. Some details missing here, perhaps, for Spirit on Nuke.
Still
So
another out
far.
of focus. They are determined, Mike, to catch the round
They're
where
so
Rush B come here.
convinced.
Determined.
This time, Sypho's adjustment is to play more aggressive on the ramp. At least they have ramp presence, and by all accounts, Sypho seems to be their ramp player. Alcaran with the op as well is a different complexion, but again, if he gets into a retake island, no kit, not a lot of util left.
Playing a very dynamic game of Counter-Strike on this CT side, and a lot of times we just use that as a byword for good, but it is hard to play when you're moving around this much. Communication has to be very, very good. And obviously, so far, a couple rounds getting caught out of position, rarely having information on where Rush B are headed before the round ends. This fight, though, could be very critical. Kiyosuke goes looking. All the timing here is going to be brutal. Inner hit comes in. Good trade. And indeed, Kiyosuke is caught. He has been a non-factor in this game so far.
That's so awkward. He's phasing through a smoke as a team player phases through the smoke. I mean, now even the save is going to be tough to pull off. Robo shows exactly why. So they're just trying to back away. Finally got the ult. Would like to hold on to it for more than one round. This has been a catastrophic start for the Spirit Academy. And Rush B are playing fast, straightforward Counter-Strike. And they keep managing to find the gap in whatever Spirit Academy are setting up for a full-on hit. It's really nice. It's straightforward, but it is very effective.
Spirit Academy cannot get a read on this T side right now. And Rush B are not giving away a lot of information. They're doing a lot of rounds where kind of turtle up, sit in lobby, sit by the silo, whatever, ready to cross into outer. And then, whatever, smokes go. They throw the cross smokes here, the deeper ones by the crate. And they just instantly hit inner. A side player's overwhelmed. And trouble. Trouble for Spirit Academy. They're not rotating into super favorable positions, but equally, the initial players against these site hits and then the ramp hits, they're just not holding their turf. They're getting completely overwhelmed.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the Mokujin spray down from the rafters on A, right? Where he gave them a real opportunity in that 4v2. It's been pretty tough. It's been pretty tough. The kills kind of tell the story of just not being able to get into the fight. It almost feels like... See if this rings true to you, Alan. You almost want them to just simplify
Yes,
a little
I was
bit.
just thinking that. Especially, the thing about Nuke is you can play the most default-ass game of Nuke on the CT side and still be good. Yeah. And then just play reactive Counter-Strike and, start whatever. 1 ramp, 2 on A, 1 mini, AWPer in heaven.
Look at this. Lobby push. I mean, this round they're limited, right? So you can understand trying to go for an aggressive move. They clear on in, but nothing really seen for it. And there's also... I don't know if an audio cue is potentially given up to these players outside of the silo. You can tell right now Kira's holding back for it to see if aggression's going to come through. So I think they might have gotten some sort of tip-off, but instead it's the adjustment in towards lower. Alcaran's making a ton of noise on all these movements. And also, really bold coming back up Squeak with no actual control in lobby. They've given that up. SUK gets the 1 off the Deeg, but only the 1. And now Sypho lost as well. That's one of the guns out of play. It's going to have to be the AWP from Alcaran if they're going to get anything out of this. Boosted up into heaven. There is a player up and around, potentially coming through. That's Zinni. He's now found his engagement with Ramp. It's up the ladder. Into death? No.
They don't
Missed
need to end
for
A.
Alcaran.
There's time to go down secret, and indeed they are. They know where 2 of these players are. Even better now that AWP is dropped. Rush B are playing simple but really sexy Counter-Strike right now. It's just, rulebook CS. Good decisions.
Nice run for Zinni.
He's been fabulous the last few months as well. Obviously, Kiyosuke, for good reason, is going to be the focal point in this series, but there are other players here that will leave a mark on Counter-Strike, and Zinni, with that ace, is I think his mark on this server right now, isn't he?
Certainly is. Certainly is.
For all the credit we give Spirit Academy and their coaching, we need a pause. We need a pause. They really need to have a discussion. And as we said, if we're discussing simplifying, they need to be having that discussion as well.
Now, here's the flip side, though, Alan. They finally have util. They finally have a kit. Sypho has a kit. It's nice to see. Haven't had that at all. He is the ramp player, though, so that is a kit that's very easy to lose early on. And, oh boy, it's another ramp rush. Sypho, this time, though, gonna hold up strong. Gotta drop here. You've done your work. You got your kills. Now drop. And that works beautifully for him. This is the way you want it to go for your ramp player.
It's the risk of going for a move like that if you're on the T side. Of course, you're never really going to have a good flash for ramp, so that CT's in the right position. They're going to get a good fight as you come through the smoke. And now they're left scrambling. What is the move? Virtus Pro would just save here. But I think we're going to see more of this round.
No, smoke wall. Smoke wall outside. James not on Virtus.
I'm not sure they will, you know.
Perry Vision.
There's something to be said in these sort of moments for just being silent and trying to, force an unforced error, trying to find a mistake. Here comes said smokes. Maybe they'll peek before them. No, they don't. Let them bloom. Been totally silent, though, and...
Oh,
that
boy.
is going to sting.
Little cheeky 1 HP action. Sypho's here. Can stack onto his already impressive 2-piece, especially with Kiro low. This is a very viable 2-man spray down. And so it will be. On for the ace, perhaps, but Zinni nowhere nearby. Sypho's going to chase it. This could give the chance back over. Can't get too aggressive, and Zinni's just going to run out that clock and back away.
Well, we mentioned it a few rounds ago, didn't we, that the defenders were not hitting their mark when the main thrust came. Roll reversal in that round. Absolutely beautiful.
Interesting that that prompts an insta timeout on the other side.
I do hope they don't.
Do we see a pace
they
change?
They don't fix what isn't broken. It just happens. If you're going to play a T-side and nuke, sometimes you're just going to, whatever, get sprayed down coming out of Squeaky or whatever we just saw there on ramp. Maybe, of course, you run a different round, but I don't want to see a philosophy switch because clearly Spirit Academy are struggling to deal with the pace being presented to them.
Comes the maneuver. A little pirouette in towards the site.
It's a much more default opening from the CT side.
You say that.
Yeah, well, we've seen that a few times. He's playing close to the smoke because if they came through it, almost certainly not going to have a flash up close. At least.
Yeah, but out of that time, he went through it.
Well, that's because he's a madman.
Madman. Coming off the 4K almost days. Feeling some vibes. Speaking of through the smoke. Uh-oh. Your A-site defense is gone. All those good vibes. Congratulations. You have to save.
This A-site has been a perpetual problem. They are consistently getting opened up. Rush B have just found tremendous timings. Think of the number of times you've seen nuke rounds where teams try to hit A and there's running into Molotovs, or the first man gets sprayed down and then it's just an absolute mess as all the cavalry comes in behind. Rush B have gained so much ground and swarmed sites before there's a response from the CTs.
Oh my god, what's he doing? He's trying to ninja. Or just hold him on towards the site? That's not going to matter. Okay, well, that's fine. Whatever. One shot over for the bit. Will not make much of a difference here. A multi-man spray down potential, but Kyosuke, you just need to keep your gun. Unfortunately for him, they won't prompt the fight because Kyosuke's rifle was a lot more valuable to Spirit Academy than anything that Rush B were holding.
Second pause
time
burn.
I used here from Spirit.
the conversation will absolutely be what is happening on A, and A, what is happening to the players themselves tasked with defending their side, but also why are we getting caught off guard so much? Why in a round where we started 4A, when the hit actually comes, do we only have 2? What's gone wrong?
Time ticking down, live once more. Yeah, let's see. Where's the move? Molotov on the trying to go for a vent drop. Fast explode upper, actually. Never mind about vent. Executor tried the same move twice. This time, Robo hits him with the spray, but down vent they go. It's Sypho who has to adjust. Good for the first. Looking for more. Can't quite find it. Smoke doesn't bloom in time to save his life from Texley. Now that bomb will be planted, but the numbers favor Spirit Academy. That might just be enough. Still got Kinky here. In the shadow of the Schmallow, but a wrap on in from Robo should do him. No, it'll be Kusiki instead from the front. It's on to Kiro and Texley to try and defend here in the vent. Kiro is going to have the bulk of the responsibility. Here's them all over. That's tons of information, but didn't expect Mokujin to come down the ladder late. And I think they spotted Texley. Yeah, they absolutely did. Locked on in time enough for the defuse. And a 4th round for Spirit.
That could have gone badly wrong. They didn't have a player coming down the vent. There was not a lot of time. Spirit Academy didn't have the virtue of checking positions very thoroughly. They had to just go. Some Okojin there. Very, very, very well timed coming down the vent. He does his job. Okay. So. Rush B calling their pause. Pretty mad, isn't it, to be winning a T-side of Nuke? They've only lost 2 gun rounds, and they've used 3 pauses. Not saying that's wrong or anything, but certainly a little bit unusual.
Yeah. Not what we would have expected, necessarily, but I guess maybe a sense that these rounds are of greater impact than what we'll have once the side swaps, or just that their strategy will be a little more straightforward, I suppose. Okay.
I imagine the pauses are to discuss precisely what's going to happen in this round. Some particular round in mind, particular execute or move, surely is lined up for us.
That was an ambitious angle to take. They're very fortunate they haven't been punished for it yet, but the punish could still very much come. Algren sticking around so aggressive on this. Can he get more? No. So was the trade worth it? The 1-for-1 off of the up. Kyosuke on top of the box. Sypho gets aggressive here in ramp and finds Executor holding on that smoke fade. So the bold action from Spirit does yield dividends. They'll cross Kiro, but Kiro does not have the bomb. And Kinky, massive kill to find, but he can't follow it up, and that means that that bomb is still very much exposed. Good read here. Oh, Mokujin has just moved past this angle. Zinni could have punished. He doesn't realize he's already gotten back in, but Kiro's going to be calming it. So where do they read Mokujin? Could have gone down vent.
I think
could have gone here and just
just by virtue of that bomb dropping where it did, I think Spirit Academy might have misread this a little bit. If they'd known the bomb was there and out, they would have kept more players around. But now this player slipped. Bomb now will get planted on A. This is doable. But Rush B have got to take fights before they get overwhelmed.
That's exactly what they do. Zinni takes the initiative, flies in towards the hut, and now they've got a position to defend from. Sypho and Kyosuke. What's talking about you, Kyosuke? Time to show us something magic. It's not going to be in this round. This round's all about Zinni. And he's just not missing. Headshots dealt out. Massive impact play. Perhaps more than the ace.
Almost certainly. Fabulous round. Zinni's been head and shoulders the best player on this server so far. And that was not on the cards. when we showed up today. Got a quick pause here. Seems to be of a technical nature, given the lack of tack up there on the graphics. So hopefully nothing too scary, but yeah, we throw a bit of heat at Rush B for burning those pauses, but if you're going to win the rounds after them, burn away. Have a bonfire.
This one I suspect is of a technical nature. Suspicion. Typing confirms, perhaps. But I think we're getting back.
Okay.
And whichever way you want to cut it, this has turned into a very good half for Rush B. Not out of the realms of recoverability for Spirit Academy, but one more round would make them feel a whole lot better about it. And just the ability to shut down, outside of like a couple of moments, the firepower element for Spirit Academy has been really impressive. Mokujin, gotta get the lead. Trade is there, but now they're in danger. Sypho, fast on the scene here from Heaven. But eventually he will falter as well. This faster play, this time not having results. It falls to Kinky. No young guns beside him. Just the 33-year-old talent to try and bring this 1v3 through. Tap to try and bait out the Heaven peak. That one's not going to be available to him, but if this smoke fades, Kinky is in trouble. So it is Kyosuke to put him down before he can slip down the fence. And 5 rounds for Spirit Academy to bring this scoreline a little more close. Live back in, a lead for Rush B, but it took just about every timeout in existence to get here. So, in the second half, without the luxury of adjustment, can they bring this map through? That's what we're going to find out.
Probably got to start here. They did win the first pistol. Memory serves correctly. Alcaran 4K on the Julies. Let's see if he can produce some more magic this time around.
Mokujin strikes first instead. Entry in towards the ramp and an adjustment in towards lower from Texley, but is late in coming. Means there is a clear path to a bomb plant here. And a battle towards double means Texley's got to back up and wait for the cavalry to get here. It's trying to hold court, but it is a comfortable plant. With one player still up by the vents as well. This is a tricky retake. I'll find some entries quickly. They'll double swing, but into a crossfire. It's Kyosuke who deals out 3 quick headshots in turn. Finally showing some of that prowess. It falls to Kinky. And this one, with an early dink, just does not feel viable. Indeed, Mokujin chasing and Robo to deal the finishing blow.
Goes without saying that is the first time in this map Kyosuke has had a huge impact. And hopefully a good sign because they need their star. I appreciate the scoreline is pretty close, but the gun rounds on that first half did not speak volumes for Spirit Academy and their competency on Nuke. Could be different on the T side. Certainly can be a different ball game, but they need to earn their stripes a little bit because that first half, the tad concerning. This round should be okay though. Just need to navigate these 2 HE grenades.
So far, well dodged. Here comes the swing. And it's time for a feast for Alka Red. And that's one way to build up your money early on. 4 quick kills against the pistols. And that is going to be cash galore en route to a potential op.
I believe those 2 nades did 1 damage to Kyosuke.
It's not quite value for your money.
Okay. So whenever you eco second, like Rush B did and buy immediately, there has to be some sacrifices. No orb, 2 players off M4s, not a full raft of Molotovs, which is not necessarily the end of the world, but can be of pretty good value. And look at this, fast crossing. They know there's no AWP in play. That is very confident stuff from Spirit Academy. I love it. The boldness just to say there's nobody here that can fight us at long range. Send in your star man.
That as well. It was this aggression that led to some very mixed results when the roles were reversed, but now they're just trying to run down these kills. My goodness, that is bold, and the op finds 2 as well. So good result on that, and Spirit Academy to pull into the lead.
Is it just me, or did that feel like a statement? That,
yeah,
you know, we're on the T side now, we can dictate the terms, we maybe are the better players individually.
This is what we wanted to do all map long. Now we finally can.
It was brutal. And let's not forget that Rush B, despite having a good T side, did use all their pauses, so slowing the CT side down will need to be done in round.
Not a lot to work with here. Kinky goes for a pretty hefty investment. Getting some util behind it. Honestly, more than you might otherwise expect. Some exploratory shots from Kyosuke, but doesn't find what he wants. Instead catches a little bit of damage back the other way. There is no presence lower. They've opted for some more aggressive leans up top. Though Kinky will try and adjust to that.
Damage matters here. Rushby cannot let this T-side economy get away from them. Cannot let Spirit Academy just run away with this.
Don't know that they're going to have much of a choice here, Alan. Although,
everyone's
hold
here.
on. Look at this cluster under the smokes. This is very interesting. These smokes have been like a light to a moth. Question is, can you actually get the kills? Need your bug zapper out. So he connects on the one. It's not quite enough, but it's starting to get very messy indeed.
That
and
felt
this
like
is getting
too much.
expensive.
That felt like too much. Okay, so bomb is down.
25 seconds.
Although no, the player
All it takes
was A, and they're coming back in that direction. This is risky stuff.
Oh my god. Brilliance. Brilliance on the transfer there from Kiro. That is absurd. Spirit Academy just trying to brawl, and against the pistols, it comes up against them. That is a savvy reposition from Kiro. They had no clue where he could have gotten to, and they suffer for it. What a blunder, Alan.
Yeah, in the truest sense. That's a nightmare. That should have been Spirit Academy's round. They had... I know they lost a couple players, but they had decent positioning. They weren't getting overwhelmed. And then... Was it Zypho that went down? Who went down the ladder from heaven? That was too much.
Yeah. Yeah, it was indeed.
He should have just
Trying to
waited.
chase
I mean,
his egos.
I think... You see this a lot with the younger teams, is they just get a bit too headstrong. They need to breathe.
That's a dink. That's a dink. So that's information given over. A lot of damage done on the Robo as well, but the Noah players cross. You can see 3 players are adjusting to defend it.
Over rotation,
Huge
they're
kill
way
from
out of
Zinni.
position. They are way out of position.
This is very awkward now. Very awkward, and they're getting punished for it. So into the crosshair they go. It's just so tough to get back up that vent once you've given it up. Yosuke, that was bold.
What is
now
happening
the
in Spirit
ball is
Academy? They're just getting absolutely
Former back to the
shredded.
court. Well, you see what happens is they establish the fight, and then they... Whoa! That's a gift. That's a gift. That's a gift that never should have been given. Executor will make sure they take it back, but it does just feel like once Spirit Academy have determined the battle lines, they're just flying into the fray. Information incomplete. There's no caution to them. They just want to brawl.
There's been some concerning rounds in this map so far, but the last 2... Yeah, it's not going to be a fun demo review when they watch those rounds back. Wow. That has completely changed the complexion of this series. Spirit Academy should have won both of those rounds. Now it's their money that snapped. Clearly Rush B needed a bit of work to stabilise their economy, but they've been handed a lifeline.
Very little to cook with here. Deathball swarm towards ramp seems to be the ticket, but that nade is a nice bit of tenderizer before the main course. Executor still in trouble. The rotation into support, not quite quick enough, but Kiro will be able to line up too. With Kinky down lower as well. Nades sailing over. Algren and Kyosuke are just begging for a peek, begging for a fight, but a path towards a bomb may be too much to ask. They get retrieved. That makes it a little easier. It is still just Kinky down here. Teammates starting to rotate into support. Problem is, without that armor, this MP9 will chew through them. And the rifle at range will certainly do the trick as well.
Got a game in our hands. We are still yet to see a very solid round opening from Rush B on the CT side, at least as far as the go rounds are concerned. Have been dealt some favours. So let's see. That trend continues. Spirit Academy on the reverse. They need to keep a cool head. They're getting space. They're getting openings. That has not been the problem. And have we got a miss smoke? What's happened here?
Big gap, certainly.
He must
Feels
have
like that's
caught the
gotta be the
little
case.
box by the red crate or something. There
Yeah,
we
they
go. Follow up
re-smoked it.
smoke,
They
but surely the
re-smoked it.
deeper smoke is gone.
Time's very awkward here. That does work out, though, because Kyosuke peeks ahead of it, and Texley's not prepared for that. Not going to be able to cross secret, but the kill is worth. Problem is you have no more smokes, so your limitations outside, well, they're going to be apparent. Zinni adjusts in. They're telegraphing their intentions here out towards A, but there's just no one in position to deal with it. It's only Zinni. They do not clear him. Second player in. Alcarin effective on it. And now Kyosuke starting to get closer in mini, making sure no reinforcements can come this way. Bomb will go down. You'd imagine the appetite for Rush B might be limited, though that kill from Kiro might tempt them back into this.
Oh, it's on now. Absolutely.
How could it not be? Executor follows up. And it all falls to Alcarin. What should have been a save turns into a disaster. Now the Molly gives away the position, and Kiro cleans up. Rush B, they were 1 foot out the door, and then an invitation back in like a vampire. They spring and go straight for the throat.
And it all started with Kyosuke. He was so trigger happy on getting back around, go through outer and cut off either a save or kind of a limp retake from Heaven, kill them before they can fall back, and it all crumbles from there. I'm not surprised to see this pause burned by Spirit Academy, because this T side has been a myriad of errors. Unforced errors. Been a very strange game so far. They're forced into a position now where they're feeling like a force buy.
Yeah. Can't fault them. I mean, they get enough to make it work, but you certainly can fault them for these moments of over-aggression. It just feels like the discipline is lacking.
Yeah.
And it's frankly surprising when you compare this squad to previous iterations of Spirit Academy. That hasn't traditionally been the issue here. And right now, in a weird way, the kills for Spirit Academy tell the story. They have a lot of them on a lot of players, and they're losing.
Team game.
Just maybe. At the end of the day, it is. The only number that matters is at the top of the screen. Gap in that smoke, but once again, Kyosuke pays it off. So this seems to be the trick, and Robo catches the player, Kinky, trying to get down the vent. So this time, great success. Let's see if they can take it all the way. Zinni trying to stay alive. Hero from Heaven plucks one away. However, there's a wrap outside, and Kyosuke's going to bring that through for a second kill. So the headshots, those certainly aren't broken. The lack of bullets for Zinni will cost him this. It falls to Executor. Here in the clutch. Cypher was low. That'll make it a little easier, and the bomb's not planted yet. Slipping out along the smoke. This is huge. This is bold. Knows the second player's there. The transfer is brilliant. Gets back into cover. Kyosuke has to know where he's gone, and Executor has no health to spare. Headshot or bust for this. And Kyosuke, one to the chest will be more than enough. Massive individual performance from the young gun.
I'm not sure they could have handled another. Fabulous try from Executor.
That transfer was disgusting.
It was. On the reverse, it feels to me like Spirit Academy are playing angry at this point. Kyosuke, I mean, clearly it was working, but he was very bold with the duels he was taking. Clearly happy to get in a gunfight and see what happens.
It's not bad for Kiro. We haven't seen a ton of the opping from Rush B. This seems to be maybe the answer to these bold ahead of smoke peaks that Kyosuke's been going for outside.
They're going to go.
Not going to be giving them this time.
I mean, nades are lined up. There's a util onto Squeaky. Now comes the barrage, and the counter util should be enough. I say should for the moment. Even trades. Two players know now in Heaven. Zypher is absolutely stuck, and he is gone. What a brutal round so far. And let's see if they can fight out of heaven and actually hold on to this site.
This flash to set it up, but Amali's gonna stymie them, at least for the moment. No smoke to get ahead of it. Smalley's just a tickle, just trying to keep them off that bomb plant. But Robo will get it through. Now they're in trouble. Risk a little bit of damage to try and get out ahead of the timing, but this is such an awkward fight from on high. Executor still wins it. There's the trade. That's map point found for Rush B. Locking this in. Only one survivor means the chance to fight is still very much here for Spirit. But one more round needed as Kiro welcomes them to the clutch.
This round's getting ugly. Real ugly. But Rush B will take it. What a tenacious half it's been from them. Granted, mistakes, of course, on the reverse, but tenacity in so many of these rounds to not throw in the towel. Saving hasn't really been an option. They're going to stick around and try every single one of these post plants. 3 opportunities. First will be against a decent, but far from a perfect investment from a Spirit Academy. Only the 2 AKs on the server, and no doubt this man, Kiyosuke, as he's done all half, is going to go hunting.
Smokes. They got one player down. Nade burst ineffective and late, but okay, a shot through. Don't know if there was
I don't think so. I think he pushed the smoke. I think he pushed the smoke.
That was the up on high. Robo, though, finding some inroads here at the vent. Executor stuck behind the box. We saw this go poorly in the first half for Spirit. Executor, though, might find the timing. Drops the bomb. Can't get the transfer. Teammates being lost in the meantime. It's Kiro to keep the numbers even. Keep this in the realm of possibility. But the positioning is tough.
See them joining the dots, realizing that there's going to be one player at most on the lower side of the map. Planting open for Decon. Doesn't get the bomb down. Now the rotation's in. Kiro's in from ramp. Critical kill. And now a huge moment. Zinni can end the map here and now. He has been a monster the whole way through. Can he serve the death blow?
Seen him do it plenty before. The swap of the doors. The bomb's being planted for him. It's easy as 2 taps in and a kill to boot. Zinni secures it. Massive individual play. Great teamwork from Rush B as well. Tendency punishes galore. Speed in the first half into patience in the second. Seem to constantly be catching Spirit Academy off guard, and that is a well-earned map win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, you know, recency bias says the second half was, of course, dominated by errors from Spirit Academy, but let's not forget that first half where Rush B were the better team. Spirit Academy could not get a good read against them. So many different looks and timings and absolutely abusing ramp and A. That was a really fabulous map from Rush B. Obviously, one we didn't necessarily expect them to pick up, and they look great. This series is on now.
It certainly is. It certainly is. Sparks are flying, fireworks are everywhere, and we will be right back for the second map after this.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, Faceit.
If you wanna be my love, boy, gotta take it slow. If you wanna be my love, I'll show you what you wanna know.
all that darkness, it won't set me back again. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape. Take me back to you.
Diving into map number 2 between Spirit Academy and Rush B. That one got away from them on Nuke. Definite chances for Spirit Academy to make a game of it, but Rush B, the stronger team, certainly the more disciplined squad. And if they can maintain that through Anubis, there's no reason this shouldn't be a 2-0 here, Alan.
Absolutely not. I mean, it was just... I mean, it's disappointing, the right word, for Spirit Academy.
Yes.
Particularly in that... The second half, they're just such different halves. The first half, they're getting outplayed. They were trying to be dynamic, and they couldn't get the calls right. They're getting timinged or caught out of position. Second half, we had, 3 rounds on the trot, where they either did or almost made huge errors. And that completely flipped the map. A map they probably would have won if they'd have just managed to stabilize their economy a little bit more on that T side. We expect more. And I certainly have seen them play more disciplined Counter-Strike. So hopefully they can get their heads around this, because we just know... I mean, we saw it in those rounds. They were so close to winning them. They were in 4v2s and huge advanced situations. They had the bomb down and everything you could have wanted, and then overextended or didn't communicate. That it's just not good enough if we're looking towards playoffs here in Challenger League. They need to play better Counter-Strike.
No, yeah, I mean, certainly that eco was the most egregious, where an unarmored player winds up getting a 4-piece on you because you got players diving down ladders to try and chase ecos. But there were multiple moments. And definitely going to be a bit concerning here. You're curious to see. I will say, Anubis is a map where aggression across the board does tend to be rewarded, especially on that CT side.
Yes.
This is a map where you can make that kind of bold-faced, we've got to take space mentality work more, where you almost need it to succeed. So perhaps that's going to play it well into Spirit Academy's strengths, but I'm very curious to see them justify it here.
Yeah. And we certainly saw in that second half. They haven't forgotten how to shoot. They're still very capable of opening up rounds and being aggressive and forcing good fights. Will be trained on the mid and the late round for Spirit Academy. They really need to, whether it's calling pauses, I mean in round, cancelling stuff and relaxing and having conversations. It's either that or just the raw communication. We need to see in the middle and the late round them looking a lot more composed, because frankly it was a bit of a mess. And you could just see them getting flustered and overwhelmed. Any situation where a Rush B player showed up behind them, it was just absolutely completely overwhelmed before they could actually react.
Yeah. I think that is the general vibe that we got across Nuke. It just felt like it's like once that first battle line was drawn, their brains flipped into, okay, swing that angle where we know one guy is and headshot, shut out all other noise. And that's just not a sustainable way to play Counter-Strike in this modern day and age. There's a few more layers to it.
It felt a lot like they come into rounds, and you should do this a lot on the T side. You come into rounds with a mentality of, we're not going to play scared. We're going to take fights. We're going to capitalize on gaps. We're going to use a player like Kiyosuke to take fights and open up space. But it was the moments when they got into an advantageous spot, or they got the bomb down, or they were in a 4v2. It's like the rules of engagement change. the rule book you're playing by changes. It's now not favourable anymore to keep taking space. That kind of nuance between when to dial it back and when to get more aggressive, that was really missing on that T side of Nuke. And that is important here on Anubis. As much as you need to play aggressive on both sides, you can't only play aggressive for the whole half and whole rounds.
I do want to give credit as well. You know, we're talking about individuals and prowess. Zinni was a god. Multiple huge impact multi-kills coming through. I mean, there was the ace in the first half, certainly. Massive 3K clutch round in the second. Big rounds in general for Zinni. Always felt like just a menace to them. So that's very encouraging to see here for Rush B, and it's going to be something that they continue to try and rely on, I'd imagine.
Yeah, we don't favour them. I don't favour them to win this map. Even in the context of what I saw on map 1. We know it's a good map for Spirit Academy. We know it's not quite as well versed for Rush B. At least kind of mechanistically, in theory, it should really suit Spirit and the sort of CS they want to play. So from that respect, if we're looking for ways for Rush B to get into this one, obviously, all mistakes from Spirit is absolutely could be a possibility. But also Zinni, as we said. If he plays like that again, he could cause tremendous problems.
It's not like they don't have too many reps. I mean, 10 maps of Anubis in the last 3 months. Yes, it pales in comparison. This is for Rush B. It pales in comparison to the 24 maps of Nuke and 21 maps of... These guys play a lot of Counter-Strike. As is Swap in the case, the online Counter-Strike grind. Playing a lot of maps. And now, let's see. Early gamble from Spirit Academy. Light in towards mid. Light on B. They are calling their shot. And their shot is that this is an A take.
I feel like I've seen this pissed around so many times from CT sides. I don't know if it's just me. Or maybe teams feel really confident about a B retake by pushing through canals. But
I don't mind it if you have some mid presence. But right now, because of the lack of mid presence, it just feels like Sifo
if they lose mid, rotating becomes a nightmare. Even holding on to A is not a given if they get
they're correct.
Split. Yeah.
Look at this.
I mean, this is pure luck. There's no information.
Well, it's either pure luck or you've watched a few of Rush B's Anubis pistols.
Okay, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Good prep. Good prep.
It's going to be a very tough nut to crack. You've got Mokujin with these dualies close up. You got Kyosuke right behind it. You got 2 more players in the everybody else. That's some ham-fisted shooting, but Alcaren going to pay it off, and Kyosuke comes back for more. It falls to Kinky. Nade to finish if Alcaren didn't get there first.
I believe that's all 3 pistols. For the Spirit Squad. Alcaren chiming in heavy, as he did on the first round of Nuke. Had a 4-piece there, 3-piece here. And no bomb plants, so... got to look towards buying a little bit later. We have a soul flashbang. That needs to be the greatest flashbang there's ever been to get a bomb plant out of this round. It's only one man here, and he's aggressive. Overwhelm him.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Not so overwhelmed, though, is Mokujin. Instead, he is whelmed. Thoroughly whelmed to the tune of 4 kills. They could not gum up the works here. Allen, instead, he chewed him up like gum and spat him out.
Is whelm on its own a word?
No.
It must have had a meaning. I mean, surely overwhelm must be a
once
hyphenated that you got whatever lopped down into a single word.
Well, here's the question. You could be befuddled. Can you be fuddled?
That's one for the Urban Dictionary. I'm sure there's some definition for that. And it's probably not family friendly.
You could be bemused. You can muse, but I don't think you can be mused.
Getting into kind of tongue twister territory here. Some of these.
There's a lot of words like that. Old English, where one version of it made it through from one generation to the next, and the other one didn't come along for the ride.
Best language on
Kinky coming along for a generational ride here. Trying to steer this ship in towards the B bomb site.
Ooh, that's a really big kill. It's going to force rotations too. Look at the A push. Immediate reaction. But being a map like Anubis, you can just finish B, even with all the information for this CT side. This is a very, very tough site to hold. And Cypher here has to do work. He does. They lock down Dark. Rotations are here. Zinni, the hero of the first map, cannot get it done. Now it's just Kiro, and surely Alcaran can peek off his teammate. Quick reload. He's more bullets in the chamber. Kiro goes looking. This time, no spray transfer. Round for Spirit.
I like the idea, though. The molly down, maybe if it's a little more shallow, if it blooms a little earlier. Still, good response to swing into it. I will say, I think Spirit Academy are quite fortunate that that one worked out for them. Because we again saw Kyosuke bringing through some of his bad habits from the first map, diving in towards that cave fight, despite the fact that his teammates were not postured to go aggro. There's a solo maneuver on a site with 3 players on it. There may be an element of, based on the news that we've seen leak, maybe playing a little bit freer than he might otherwise, knowing that his fortunes may no longer be tied to this roster.
Possibly. I mean, on the reverse, now is the best time. Now is the best time to look like an absolute phenom of the future.
True. And now he does.
Yeah. Monster round so far. It is worth bringing up, though, what we discussed in the initial pre-game is that it's all well and good being a great mechanical player, but if he really does go to the team he speculated to go to, he will need to tighten up his decision-making. He won't get away with this unhinged aggression at Tier 1.
The flip side is the wealth of players around him. Texley, that's a hell of a deep shot. Kinky follows it up. Hold on, we got a round. We got a round. We'll talk about this in a moment. We'll table this conversation. Ooh, they misjudged the plant. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. A pixel separates you from death, and Alcaran cannot find the shot. So now harassment off the Deagle, very effective. 2 players back this way. Smoke's going to make this a tough defend.
Is there a kid?
Deep enough, indeed. Oh, boy, there's not. There's not. If it is, it's not close at hand, but Kinky doesn't seem to know where the tap is. He finds it. And Rush B are on the board.
Am I missing something? Why wasn't there a kit? Surely somebody had the money. Or did they just assume because it was a half buy from Rush B that is not kind of worth investing? I don't know. What's going on in this series for Spirit Academy? It just feels like too many instances for it not to be a trend. Can't be a coincidence that there's so many bizarre rounds.
No kid here. Kyosuke or Mokujin could have sacrificed a helmet to get a little bit more. Mokujin could have had the kit. Nice molly clears here. There is a lot of presence for Spirit. They got the bodies in the right place. Robo is rumble, but the flashes are good, and Kiro puts his teammate down. Uh-oh. A little target misidentification, perhaps. They're dumping a ton of util, but they need some kills to make this a possibility. And it will come at a heavy, heavy cost. This could still get away from them, but initial ideas are good here for Spirit.
Spirit are leaning correctly at the moment. Sypho's coming over. Very important duel. Shadow advantage. First man felled. Kiro, very tough fight on an AWP, and he goes down. Okay, well, it's alright in the end. Got a little bit hairy.
Brutal for Rush B. I mean, they run right into the stacked up position for Spirit. And Spirit just get a pound of flesh for every inch that Rush B take. So the general point of what we were talking about before is if you were going to a team as a player with some very raw mechanics who maybe needed to refine some decision making, having names like, I don't know, Nico, Magisk, Zonic in the roster might perhaps be an ideal situation to go to do so.
We said the same for Boros.
Well, look, you can lead a horse to water.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Made pop on the smoke. Space taken out. Ooh, shot put through a teammate's shoulder. This time, though, won't cost them. Kyosuke cleaning it up. Can't quite hit the transfer. This one's getting expensive. At the very least, could get very testy indeed. A clutch for Kiro. The transfer not on. Had the right idea. Not quite the headshot required.
Have you ever seen a less convincing 5-1 start? Holy cow.
I mean, look, it's Anubis on the CT side, so if you gotta get every round coming down to one player surviving, you'll take it.
I guess so. Even with that in mind, we're only millimeters from the same look as Nuke here. It's got all the same hallmarks. Spirit Academy getting over-eager in advantageous positions. Clearly haven't quite had the finishing blows of Rush B in this map, but they will get their opportunity to haul this back. If Spirit Academy continue in this vein, they need to tighten up their counter-strike. Mid under pressure, and mid is felled. Kill as well towards A, surely to split A at this point. You've killed so many defenders on that side of the map.
It's an ambitious spray from Kinky. Gives him the chance to trade one back relatively for free, but Sypho through the smoke and Alcaran aggressive towards A main means that this one is firmly done. Kyosuke, time to save, because this bomb is down. And Rush B, a compelling second round now on the board.
Felt like a very early bout of A aggression there.
Yeah.
I mean, normally on this map, well, most maps, frankly, is either going to push immediately off spawn, try and get a good timing, good set util, or play very reactive Counter-Strike. We're going to see whatever. Map control in towards canals from Rush B. Mid-take from Rush B. A lot of B pressure, something outside of B main. Whatever it is, something to inspire the push. That kind of felt like we're just going to try and take some fights. And it really didn't work. Rush B might reap the rewards here. Spoken about how much of a knife edge Spirit Academy have straddled so far during this half. And look at the buy. 2 rifles. Robo drops a scout in the end to Alcaran. Again, a lack of kit despite 1500 on Kyosuke. It's not going to take much for Rush B to be really even in this map. Not going to take much.
Gotta crack through this round. Sypho makes that difficult, though. Molotov not quite as deep as you'd like. The kills. Getting very dangerous back the other way. There's still this scout. This time the molly's gonna burn, and Alcaran, yeah, you've used up all of your lives for this one. Oh, Mokujin in the smoke. Mokujin in the smoke. Timing on the fade. Kiro's ready for it. Anticipated that play. They know where the last player is. This should allow a chance to get this bomb down and bring this round through.
Have they ever seen an aggressive opportunity they didn't like? Every chance they have to get aggressive, these guys take it. And clearly, during this series so far, we have seen the 2 edges of that sword. Mainly the self-facing edge.
It is one of those things where if you only have one gear, they come to expect it quite a bit. Texley, make sure his teammate won't falter here. So, eco required for Spirit. You'd imagine it'll be pretty substantial, maybe a dig here or there.
Yeah, I mean, even their
Chance to
buying
shrink
the
this
following
gap.
is not going to be perfect. Kiyosuke could kind of full eco here and ensure an AWP. Could be handy. Feels like he is leaning that direction.
Good team play.
Okay. Well, Rush B need to bank some economy. They need a bit of a buffer.
Ouch.
Oh, follow up. Beautiful.
Big ouch coming in off the Kobe's.
Rush B are a much more disciplined team. At least in this series. They are, even on a round like this, they recognise that if we keep these guns alive, keep the money good, it might only give us, a fraction of a percent better chance of winning, but it's still a better chance of winning.
Yeah, certainly. I think that was well evident on Nuke as well. Where you just do seem... they're certainly not a slow team. They like their own aggression. They like to go fast. But it is much more controlled. Executor. Finds the 2, but the 1 Deeg will now bear a heavy cost. If Saifu could slip away with a gun, that'd be tremendous. But he's already justified the hand cannon purchase. They're taking this from a flawless round to anything but. Oh boy. 3rd kill found. That's the AK to survive. That's 3 kills of damage. And this is looking a whole lot shinier for Spirit Academy. Just wanted to watch the chicken die, I guess.
Yeah. I'm sure Animal Ride's going to make of that. What can you do? Got a quick pause here. Assume of a technical nature. Nevertheless, Spirit Academy do need to have a quick discussion about these gun rounds.
Oh, the soothing sound of someone spamming Q in spawn. It's like music to my ears.
Tezes, right, is the rumor. Kiyosuke.
Yes. Yes. That is the reported rumor.
So presumably he played Rotator, and Magus would definitely anchor.
Yes.
I thought
Magus anchors for them.
Kicksan played Rotator spots, unless he's swapped out of them. I need to check that. Certainly it's plausible we could have an in-game leader falling back into different positions. You got Nico in the middle of the map to call the shots. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say he's heavily involved in the mid-rounding. Is the picture forming up in your head?
Somewhat. I mean, it's still... I don't know. Kiyosuke is clearly a talented player, but... when you're signing people like Munazi and Nico, is the mantra or the MO not to pick up established? Granted, I mean, obviously, I appreciate it hasn't worked brilliantly so far, but
yeah, is
he not the odd one out?
Are we going established?
Is he not the odd one out?
Or are we going for a mega talent? If you believe Kosuke is that mega talent firepower piece. Maybe that's what tips you over the edge in an era of much firepower. Alcarent bringing some of that firepower in. And it's followed up nicely as well. Kyosuke only does get the 1. Smoke provides a little bit of cover for this Opera. And teammates galore as this B-take has been shut down. You can appreciate the idea. Off the timeout, live up to your name, Rush B. This time, there is no success to go along with it.
B-laden stance in the first place from Spirit. Clearly pays dividends. We're in for a minute save here, I suspect, as Kiro tries to hold on to this AWP. Plenty of time to ruminate. Potentially about Kiyosuke's future. I'm surprised Kira's even sticking around for this much. I guess it's almost easier to fight from here rather than fall all the way back into T-spawn. Okay.
Okay. 6 rounds. I mean, look, it's already a pretty banging half for the CT side. And now you've got the money cracked on Rush B. Seems like they're going to go all in here. Kira can drop some weaponry around, and that's what they're going to do. Well, it was what they were going to do.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. I mean, Kiro, yeah, he decides not to AWP, so he can drop 2 AKs and buy one for himself.
But this is it. This is the piggy bank smashed and emptied. That last round's not going to have a lot behind it.
It's the same call. They're running the same round, or at least a very similar one.
Oh boy. Utility damage already there. Oh, the op on scopes this time. Slightly different timing, but it is still just coming down to this B hit, and there's a lot of firepower behind it. Kyosuke dead after 2, but the numbers, they lean in the way of Spirit, and a shot through the wall will punish that planter. Robo can follow it up, and it falls to Kiro to try a very challenging clutch. Wally to limit his real estate. Has one of his own to potentially punish that bomb defuse. Has to get past the Temple player first, though. Mokujin's toying with him, trying to bait out that shot. There's the molly. They've got to smoke for it. They've got to smoke for it. They can just go for the stick. They're going to go for the fight, though. This is, again, maybe a little impatient. And this gives the chance. Can he deny? Comes off the bomb. And indeed, Kiro in the clutch. The lack of focus, the lack of patience cost Spirit Academy once again.
Just getting almost frustrating to watch, isn't it?
They don't have to fight him.
No, well,
if they smoke that bomb and hold the angles, he cannot do anything about it.
He could do practically anything as long as the first player, as long as the first man gets on the bomb and they play around it. Wow, I'm a little bit speechless, as probably our Spirit Academy.
That is a massive lifeline to a Rush B. 8-4 is almost impossible to come back from. 6-all, as has now been given them the opportunity to get. It's anyone's game.
Yeah, especially if you win pistol,
that
of course.
Swing is huge.
Hasn't been super favourable in that regard in this series so far, but again, as I mentioned earlier, the signs of cracks in this Spirit Academy side have not gone away. What have we got here? Some mid-aggression. Just trying to find a good timing. 2 men getting aggressive. Not going to go any further, though. We're going to reroute 3 on B for this CT side. That is the correct call, but with limited util, there is a lot on the rifles here doing work. Flashbang in. Zypho swings. Good flash. Completely blinded. I'm almost surprised he didn't get more.
Yeah, I think you very much so. Not great bullet economy there, but an advantage still available, and Kyosuke can trade himself out. So Texley's low. He knows he's been flanked up.
Huge kill.
Go back to clear that.
Huge kill. That would have been round over for sure.
Now he can link up with Executor. He can go anywhere.
Alcaran's so low. And God forbid, don't tell me there's no kit again on this CT side.
There's no kit again, Alan. This time they didn't have the money. Well, no, they did. No.
Robo would have, right?
Yeah.
Or did he have a...
No, he would have had 450. You're right. Not 100% sure. There may have been money limitations here, but they may just get the kills. Regardless, no kit if there's no plant. We'll be right back.
We're not the only one. Heads down. They will watch us shake the ground. Oh, it's like this. It will fill the air around. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. How let the future escape. Back to you. We're not the only one. We're not the only one.
back in for the second half. It's a lead, hard fought for the Spirit Academy. But some late shenanigans have given Rush B at least a chance. Still, they need something to go right early here, and a pistol would be a hell of a way to do it.
Oh my.
Shot. That's a follow-up. Oh boy, Executor. Living up to that name. Out of bullets here.
They
Out
on
of
the bomb.
chances, but he's done his job.
Kisuke did not grab it on his way through. And now there's two players push canals. This is nightmare fuel.
Can Sypho bail them out of this? They're coming back to check him. They're coming back to check him, but he wins the duel at the cost of much, much, much health. Indeed. Dink up early onto Zinni might be the difference maker here, but Kiro ringing out the shots, deals with that mid player, and now Kinky strikes back in. So you can't go out, you can't go forward, and Kyosuke's down to 4 HP. A toe shot will finish him, and it'll come from the barrel of Kinky's gun.
Game on. It was 3 out of 3 pistols, Spirit Academy. Finally, they have dropped that streak. No bomb plant. And as you said, Executor in the name. Lives up to it there for sure. Absolute clinic from the cave. And indeed, without that bomb plant, pretty hefty eco from this T side. Let's see what they can get out of this. You know, part of me wants Rush B to win this so that Spirit Academy are punished for their various mistakes. Part of me wants them to, you know, to lose this game, to have to learn from it.
You're saying karmic justice
would be nice.
Would be Rush B finding the punish. Karmic justice doesn't exist in Counter-Strike, though. Only cold, hard lead. But, well, right now, in this round, there's a lot of lead going the way of Rush B.
Yes, sir. Okay. So 2 MP9s held through. See if they get a bit frisky with them. You don't necessarily have to on a map like Anubis. But some teams would throw in something out of A aggressive. Definitely a close-up mid setup. That'd be very common. Wouldn't be surprised to see that.
The util's interesting here. So they've only got two flashes, right? They've got a lot of smokes, a couple mollies. But it's a lack of flashes where you'd expect this to be a relatively straightforward play. You've got the E-box smoke, you've got a B main smoke, which indicates that it might be B, but we can see that this is intended to end as a split A. Nice flash, nice check. Kinky gets the info. That's huge.
It's out.
Now his teammates pump some util in towards A main. He backs away. That's a huge find for Kinky.
Zinni's going to lean. But the B players are not terribly scared. The hit coming their direction. Executor throws that smoke for Cave. Buys them a bit more time. The A aggression, though. This is a very aggressive move.
These are the 2 MP9s, though, right? This is trying to maximize those SMGs.
It's not so bad either. They caught them at decent timing. It's a shame Executor hasn't used this second smoke he has, because they should know it's not A anytime soon.
Here's a clear out in towards mid. Now you've got the info here. There's that smoke. Question is, will teammates get around? Because they want to walk this. There's no flash for it. It would have to just be a walk or a fade. Here they go. Here's the move. Mokujin finds that first kill. Executor down. Now you might just pull the ripcord. There's util to get back into this, but you have to wait for these B main players to get back through. So Zinni's just trying to enforce a little presence, get lucky, and as Elkarin tries to slip back into B main, he finds the waiting arms of Rush B. Now this retake is well and truly on, but Mokujin continues to find kills on the site. A nade to even up the score, but they've got to get a move on. There's a kit here on Kiro, but it's now dropped. And it falls to Zinni, desperately trying to spray through this smoke. Nothing being given to him. With nothing given, at time it starts to slip away. This one is out of the realms of possibility. An AK upgrade, but it's time to get the heck out of Dodge. A last kill is a parting gift. No survivors for Spirit, but a round win nonetheless.
Valiant effort. Cannot fault them for that. Don't dislike how Rush B played the round. It was dynamic. They were trying to make moves. I think they were a little bit slow once they saw nobody else was A main to make a move. They went in for mid. They did leave their B player a little bit out to dry. Still, though, thought process was correct. You're never going to be perfect. And despite losing that round, the money is so brutally bad for Spirit Academy in reserve. I mean, look at it. 200 total. All can be redeemed if Rush B win this round.
Mocha just made his way out. They're playing tough. Mocha just got a lot of space, and there's the punish for it. Effective entries here in towards B, but Zinni trying to hold the line. This time sets up Kinky on the trade, and now advantage Rush B. Cavalry's en route. Bomb has crossed. Saifu can get this kill before the reinforcements get here. That would be massive, and indeed he does. Texley just a few seconds too late to keep his IGL alive. Jero makes his way on in. But at this point, it's advantage on for Spirit Academy, especially with that Molly now dropped. There's no kits. And a shot that's lethal from Sifo means that Texley's now in an unfavorable position. If he had a kit, maybe you could just risk the smoke stick, but for a full 10 seconds, this might just be asking too much. Begging for a peek from Sifo, but at this point, you just got to tap that bomb, and well, the clock's gone away from him. He's given up on this one. The spam will confirm it. An extra kill, but that is cold comfort.
They're doing their damnedest. But it might just not be enough. Got eco here. Mokujin is... He's playing a risky brand of Counter-Strike, but give him credit. He's getting a lot of space on B by pushing this main smoke. Maybe a read? I mean, it could feasibly be prep that he knows they don't play up close to it very often. But, yeah. Fortune is favouring the bold right now. That is for sure. As Rush B have decided to full force buy, they could have ecoed and bought in the following. They've decided to get aggressive here. This is a... this is kind of an all or nothing move, isn't it? Lose this, and the map is all but done.
Feels that way. Oh, that Molly is devastating. Well, that's the Molly you hope they wouldn't throw. You got to smoke for it, so there's redundancy, but now they've got a pretty good idea of what you might be bringing to the table. Fam's not finding it just yet. The bodies are here. The stack is here. This crossfire could get weird, even if it's just 5-7s on the other side. Kinky's trying to get lucky.
How is nobody dead?
Oh boy, there's your death. Oh, the second! That's absurd! It's not even the player he was aiming at, but it is the kill that he found. There's still Kiro backside, but Kiro is so low, and that pop shot confirmed what Kyosuke already knew. Zinni, though, strikes. They're making it expensive, I'll tell you that much.
Nah, this is on. They can win this. Executor's very early.
Executor's on the flank. Is he going to catch the fountain player? Oh, he's revealed himself, but Zinni gets the kill. Instead, it all falls to Elkaren in the clutch. A rifle picked up from Executor, but Zinni cannot find the trade. They hang on. The clutch pulled off all or nothing, and it's nothing indeed.
Oh my lord. I mean, add that to some of those rounds in the first half in Spirit Academy. They are gambling away their 9 lives right now, aren't they? Holy hell. Some of those 5-7 shots are fated.
It's going to be spicy if nothing else.
This is a really interesting game. I appreciate Rush B. They're on pistols, they're at a deficit, but if they can just break this money, there's nothing in reserve for Spirit Academy. They can't afford to lose this round.
Oh boy. It's another round where Mokujin's just been so lethal coming through that V main approach. done a fantastic job of creating space for his teammates. So it is Kyosuke who also stacks up 2 kills, but it feels like Mokujin enables them. Should be settled business. This nade tries to deny, but it's just a little chip damage in what is a lost round for Rush B.
This is going to be a map where the final scoreline will not tell the full story. This will look comfortable for Spirit Academy. But we, the viewers, know otherwise. It has been a brutal affair.
By their fingertips. White knuckling. Did they buy again? No. No, okay.
I would honestly wouldn't actually blame them because they're just getting out of control now in terms of the round deficit. Half buy though.
Yeah, at this point you're just saying, well, bring on Ancient.
Kyosuke might have the most kills, but Mokujin and Zypho for me are the players that have pushed Spirit to this scoreline.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Kinky nearly had that. The trade is there. But now we get these executes on towards B. This time coming at a heavy cost. Alcarin put his teammate down. Oh boy. It falls to the 1. Sypho's completely disconnected from that bomb. Once the smoke fades, they're going to be aware of that. And there's upgrades available in the meantime for Rush B. Guns picked up. How do you put these pieces back together? 2 of these players don't have armor. But still 3 crosshairs to contend with here for Sypho. And a re-smoke on. Might allow him to just retrieve the bomb. Begging for a peek over this. But Zinni's giving him nothing.
Running out of time to end anywhere else. Gotta be A, and it does not happen. Of all the rounds, the half buy from Rush B comes good. The one silver lining for Spirit Academy is at least they banked some economy before they lost a round. 1 round earlier, there would have been a disaster. But at least they can invest. This could still have legs to it. Spirit Academy lose this round, it's a while before they have a good buy. Check out the CT rotates. Rush B are terrified of another B round coming out from this T side. They went 4B there for a second. Now they're back into 2A, 1 mid. There's a lot of movement here. It's hard not to make a mistake when you're moving around this much.
Oh boy, there's that mistake. There's that mistake. Utility peek back into the cave angle. It's traded, fortunately. It's not a fatal mistake just yet, but Mokujin, again, takes advantage. Gets this space out, and a tag straight to the dome from the Tech 9 might just have ended this round. Mokujin finds Kiro on the edge of it, spam costing him, and it falls just to Texley, who has no choice but to try and save this AK into the next.
Yeah. I'm feeling quite clever right now after calling out the risks of moving around that much. Absolutely on cue.
It's nice when someone illustrates your point for you, right? As you
yeah, I mean, they were just... You could just say tell they were flustered, and it's just impossible to move around as much as they were. Because it's not only the movement, it's also the kind of the game of Chinese whispers of, well, you didn't actually see this stuff yourself. Your teammates saying, oh, that's clear, you're fine, or, you know, they're constantly moving in and out, and then the player says, I want to go back into dark and retake it. It's just a mess.
little bit of added cost here on the tail end. It will actually cause issues for Spirit. But the remaining 3 players will limp through to the next. I mean, that's meaningful damage coming through from Texley. Continues to press the finances where if they can crack through this round, there is a path. We're not so far gone just yet. I kind of want to see what Kiro does on this AWP. Seems like it's towards A early on. And the 3 on B, more aggressive in towards Cave. But Kyosuke, for once, is holding back.
I can't believe the number of T rounds from a Spirit Academy that played in the same area of the map. B main is plan A, B, and C at the moment.
A lot of faith in Kyosuke to create the space here towards Cave. He's done it again. Molotov will hold him at bay, but now that threat exists, he can't dig him out.
So well and good using this util, but it's not going to last forever. Now they make their move. Retake Dark, I like it. It is a 1-for-1, but I think you take that as the CT side. You've got space. You've got a crossfire on the site. Be lovely if the A players reacted with an information play themselves, but they are very static at the moment.
It does feel odd, right, with that aggressive movement towards Cave. It's so committed on these B angles between Zinni and Executor. Molotov timing could be good. Delay some of this util back the other way, but Executor has to focus Cave. That second element coming in. So much relies on Zinni then. With Sypho late to it, this crossfire is lethal. Don't know what Sypho was waiting for, but he's missed his timing for sure. It falls to Alcaren on this AWP. 1 kill found. Bomb on his belt. He can still cook, but there's no time for it. 12 seconds. The recipe, it's burned. It's simmering over. The egg timer's going off, and there's smoke pouring out of the stove.
It's a scary picture you're painting. Ooh, okay. Right. First pause burned by Spirit Academy. As overtime still lurks in the background, doesn't it, here on Anubis? It's a little bit out of eye shot at the moment, but it's there. We know it is. And a difficult decision, I think, now for Spirit Academy. They had minimum loss bonus in the previous round, so they only had 1,400 hitting the bank accounts. As these rounds ticked over. Kiyosuke's made his intent pretty clear. He's all in. Okay. They're going all in. There will not be a full buy for Spirit Academy before the last round of regulation if this doesn't pan out. And what have they got? 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs. It's Kiyosuke and Alcaren to try and finish this map and put us onto a third. He peeks every time. Every time.
Yeah. It's unusual when he doesn't take that early fight out towards Pizza. Pepperoni needs to be had here, and Zinni able to get a reload off as well. Now Texley and Zinni on the same angle are clearing up the bodies. You've still got these big guns out on the server, and we know they can tip the scales, but, well, that's an effective way to remove one. Balanced firmly in favor of Rush B, and Alcaren thinking about whether it's even worth risking this up.
His money will be really out of balance if he doesn't give this up. Is he really going to save it? Because think about it, he's got to save again in the following round.
Bye-bye.
This is game on now. Let's give
Texley
Texley some credit. He has played a fantastic CT side, despite obviously some overarching issues for this defense, particularly on this side of the map. It looks a little bit sketchy, especially as Kiyosuke went hunting in towards the cave. But held firm, did the defense. Next round will be pretty much a full eco around this AWP. And obviously Rush B know it's in play, so you wouldn't have thought Alcaran's going to get the easiest duels.
Patience shown here from Rush B. As we know they are well capable of, and keeping their own money healthy is important. So what do we do? Do we chase this? Do we chase this up? Do we buy around it?
Surely not.
Do we risk Alcaran not having much to work with in the final round of this map?
I just don't know how you bring him into play. It's just not the easiest map to make it work. Maybe just let him walk in A.
E-box peak early.
This is the thing, though. Rush B know the AWP is on the field. They're never going to give an easy fight. And without any util, minus this one flash on Alcaran, I'm not sure anybody can really help Alcaran get into a good fight. What's going to entice a Rush B player to peak? We know they're disciplined already off the bat. That's just a given while they've played this series. I don't see the avenue yet.
Well, it seems to be that walk in towards A. Provided Texley doesn't peek off of this, it should be a decent setup for Rush B to counter. Robo wants to find some space in towards mid. Oh, and here's the scope heard. So if there's a flashbang for this, Texley's going to have a field day, but it's awkward. Kinky goes down first. Texley's just trying to survive, trying to buy time for his teammates to get in, and Robo strikes. How on earth did they allow him through camera? This is a massive mistake made, and now in a post plant, this AWP becomes so much more potent. An AK picked up for Kyosuke, and they could just end it all here. Hero, how do you get back through? You don't. That's the answer. One saved AWP and pistols is enough. The explosive prowess of Spirit Academy shines through.
That is unbelievable. I can't believe they've won that round. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous stuff as Spirit Academy, despite the mistakes, send us to Ancient. One map left to decide this series. Winner goes to playoffs, loser goes home. We'll see you on Ancients.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, Faceit.
Acting that's so overrated. Yeah. If you make one, you will fall. Too much of a temptation. Yeah. There's a comfort in the crawl. Now I've been on my feet too long. I know I'm strong, just looking for some solid ground, so I can start to run. I don't wanna be tired, moving so bad, right. I don't wanna be tired, feels like it's my time. I don't need your light. Don't you waste your time. Don't you waste your time. Don't you waste your
You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. Don't just stop it. Doing what you do. When I lay back, holding on to you. Ooh, ooh. Feel like something new. Yeah. Got my senses here on overload. All my body is for you to hold. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Feel like something new. Yeah. And I never thought that you got me wanting. Never thought that never thought that never thought that that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah. You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. I feel like I'm in another galaxy. Take my time in your eternity. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Feel like something new. Yeah. And I never thought that got me wanting. Never thought that never thought that never thought that that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah. Feel like
find her jeans from a previous day. Grab the keys from off the counter, commute into the city, gonna take another hour. Man, I hate trading time for a way. At least I got a home and a job that pays. Faded from color, reaching to find where I wonder how. You're saying it'll all be fine, while you sit around and waste your time. Faded from color, stuck in the backseat and told to drive.
You look like a child. Well, thank you very much, Arthur. I've been very lucky down here. Feeling better than I did up north.
Collars itching, faces twitching, another cup of joe and I'm fine. Come 5, I can burn a fresh dime. Lifting up the burdens, putting weight on my mind. Bet if I didn't chase that and embrace distractions, master my lack of faith and break through. Faded from color, reaching to find where I wonder how. You're saying it'll all be fine, while you sit around and waste your time. Faded from color, stuck in the backseat and told to drive. I'm holding out as I fight. I feel my colors wash away. Been finding my ground in the light of the hours I can claim. 'Cause in time I restore my complexion and find that I left my distractions behind. In the meantime, I'll blindfold my pride and keep hold of my time like it's gold. Faded from color, reaching to find where I wonder how. You're saying it'll all be fine, while you sit around and waste your time. Faded from color, stuck in the backseat and told to drive.
We are alive back into the fun here for a third map of Ancient between Spirit Academy and Rush B. Spirit Academy managing to bring it through on Anubis despite some touch and go there right at the tail end. Heroics with one saved op and Glocks managed to seal the deal and bring us on to Ancient. Rush B have given this a valiant effort, but now that we go to Ancient, where's your confidence at, Alan?
$1 million question. I don't have a good answer. The question lingering in my mind is, how does this series change if Spirit clean up their mid and late rounds? And we're not talking about, earth-shattering changes. It's communicating well, being a bit calmer. Does this series look very different if Spirit do win more of those rounds? I think it does. I'm not sure Rush B are competitive. That is the fear for me, I think, going into map 3, is that the ball is in Spirit's court, and if they do clean up, it could start looking quite one-sided.
It did feel like as well they maybe did pump the brakes a little bit towards the end of Anubis. Not tremendously, not a huge tempo adjustment. We saw at least one round where Kyosuke didn't just go for that aggressive fight in towards Cave, where they held back a little bit more and saw some great results as well as an end result of that. So I think your point is a fair one, where perhaps Spirit were playing a little fast and loose at times. And that's something that Rush B were able to punish. And so if now in a map 3, it's like, okay, buckle down. The message from Coach Sotfic lands. I think you're right that there's a possibility that this becomes a little bit more comfortable for Spirit. But the flip side is we have seen so many good things for Rush B. right? We've seen some star play coming through from the likes of Zinni, Texley, Kiro. We've seen good team play and coordination. They've looked like the far more disciplined squad. And there are a lot of ways that you can put that to great effect here on Ancient.
Absolutely. This has been a Brains versus Brawn series so far, and there are certainly worlds where Rush B have already 2-0'd this. But not to be. As we get into Ancient, of course, some big individual performances too from Rush B. I think we've enjoyed watching them, and it'll be intriguing to see how they hold up going to this third and final map. Certainly feels like Kiyosuke is warming into this series after a bit of a muted map 1. Map 2 was more as we expect. He's clearly playing confidence. I don't think there's any doubting that. So let's see. Just a knife.
Do you have a knife
to kick
round?
us off.
This is a third map, so we knife for sides. Just like your Faceit games. Like you're here in the server. Let's see. What's the knife?
Oh dear.
Stab your teammate. That appears to be the stat. He's not, in fact, a bug. You can stab your teammates. So, giving them a little bit of wisdom. They might need it. Oh my goodness. All right. Good sacrifice. That's the way you get it done here, Alan.
Seems like it. Seems like it. Still holding to pagan virtues, apparently. Maybe Norse. Who knows? I've seen Vikings. I know how it works.
Is that what that show was about?
Have you seen it?
Bits and pieces. I think I watched the first season.
At least
Did
in
not
the
follow
earliest seasons, there is a fair amount of kind of religious festivals and associated practices. And most of them are quite brutal. To put it mildly.
Most of what I remember from that is that the female lead, Catherine Winnick, shares my last name. And, yeah.
Both blonde.
Both
And
blonde.
both gorgeous.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. No actual relation. It's not her actual last name. She changed it for show business. Didn't think anyone would
That's
ever change
disappointing.
the name to my last name for show business, but we'll take it. Empty B site. Speaking of things that are gorgeous to see, Rush B. Thinking, a bomb plant for free? Why, thank you.
Because we saw the stack, didn't we, on this pissed around CT side for Spirit on Anubis. That time they got it right. This time, we're going to find out how much they like a retake. Got some util, but they need to use it to perfection.
They got a kit for once. Saifo's rocking that. Keep an eye on where he goes down if he does. And Kyosuke has struck first. It's looking very darn good in this retake so far, and it's clean as you'd like. Alcoren, the only casualty. Time galores. Kit not even required.
Wowzers. Okay. Well, Kiyosuke's going to play like that. Maybe we could be in store for a short map. A tack pause on round 2. Presumably because they planted. And now they're having a discussion of, do we want to go in? Of course, it's not as easy these days with the restricted plant bonus. And they're going for it. Galil's on 2. In favour of that, over dropping AKs. It's bold. We don't see many teams forcing second these days. And I hope they have a plan.
Click head.
It's a good one.
It's a classic. Never goes out of style, Alan.
No.
Have a util in towards the elbow fight, as is meta. A lot of B main util as well, but there's no cave peak behind it. So once this smoke fades, presumably, Kiki will realize that he's got a lot of real estate. postured early for an A main play, and it's a double donut setup here from Spirit Academy.
So the CT's favoured rifles over util. They got one smoke left, which has just been deployed in towards the cave.
Rush B haven't gone quick,
It's
though.
not necessarily an easy round here for the CT side. It's gonna have to take some risks to grab information at some point.
You have nothing to counter and execute. There's one flash that's on Kyosuke back in spawn. Smoke's just been thrown in towards mid. You will have vision beyond that.
Surprised they're free A right now. Kujin can call that nobody's crossed mid. Kyosuke needs to get back towards B and fast. There's no reason to be free A right now.
Oh, what a shot from Kinky. Now you've cleared out cave. Now there's no one to really hold on to this. As smokes go up, it's just Sypho. Molotov sections him off as well. If you can cross this bomb, this becomes a very strong position indeed. And they do. And they get a kill to boot. Bomb's going down. Kyosuke can't deny this. It's such a risk to even be going forward into these fights. And it's a risk that does not pay off. Bodies are dropping left, right, and center. It's desperation at this point. Don't know which way to turn. And that is a lethal round from Rush B.
Okay. Somewhat reminds me of Nuke. And casting our mind back to CT Nuke for Spirit Academy, we saw CT moves and rotations that weren't always needed. Very dynamic round there from Spirit Academy, leaning free A and getting caught out of position on the rotation. Of course, some cracking entries from Rush B, but still got to raise some doubts over whether Spirit Academy positioned perfectly. And now it's the CTs on the force buy, and it is lacking, to put it mildly.
Comes that hit. In towards B they go. Doubling towards cave could give them something to fight from, but they certainly won't be able to deny this bomb plant. And it'll be plant quite exposed. A risk there for Rush B, but now it gives them a very strong position to defend from the ramp, provided they can hold on to it. And with little on the other side, I mean, what do you even do here? Got to get ahead of this smoke.
Case here to save, you know. This isn't on this retake. They'll have nothing in the next if they don't keep at least a couple of these pistols going.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright. Kyosuke reminding them that he does still have oodles of firepower in store. But the round he can do nothing about.
Don't think they'll be too disappointed. 3 players alive. It's going to be a full eco minus Alcarin coming in this round. And yeah, so we'll see when the guns really come out. But last questions all series about Spirit Academy. So the loser of this will play X Aurora tomorrow for the final spot in playoffs.
High stakes. High stakes. Oh boy, Executor looking the wrong way. Didn't expect to get flanked. Right there. Should funnel them in towards B. We once again can see that B is very clear, and with just a MAC 10 given over, it's not a catastrophic loss by Executor.
Kind of worth it, isn't it? Just for the info. Keep it simple. Don't expect, given the discipline we've seen so far in this series, that Rush B are going to give away too many guns here. For free. Could get tricky though here. M4 on Kiro. 3 players around. Could get overwhelmed. First scooped up. Texley here is nearby. Third teammate en route. Buddy system paying dividends. Tricky position here from Kiyosuke. Nets him one. That'll be all they find. Not too bad. 3-1 for Rush B.
Cindy's lost his gun. He's lost his gun. Where'd the AK go? Somewhere in the muck. Fortunately, won't be a huge problem for them. They got some money to spare at this point. No op for Alcaran, who seem to be very impactful with the big green, so that is a serious limitation here. Moku has to go down to the Famas as well to get util up here, and once again, Alan, no kit. They actually have 400 to spare on Moku. Still no kit. That has haunted Spirit Academy before. See if it costs them anything in this one.
Just bizarre at this point. Oh dear.
That's a tough one.
Oh dear.
That's a tough early loss.
You know,
Robo hunted down.
for a player we don't necessarily expect to be at the top of the scoreboard, Kinky has had some big impact frags in this series. He is not scared to get his hands dirty.
No, deploys him. He's fearless, right? And it's sort of those dirty work clears where you have a teammate with you, and it's like, look, if I don't get the kill, you clear it. The position's important. Kinky is very willing to throw his face into the blender.
Okay, well all the eggs are in the B basket for Rush B. No awards for guessing where they're going, and yeah, Spirit Academy trying to go for that award at the moment. 3 players here. Mokujin is nearby. That's a good kill from Kiyosuke. Rush B don't have to finish here, and maybe that was one player too many spotted. Executor runs off. He needs to grab his team some handy info.
Executor's going to fake this. He just popped off a shot here and towards Donut. That was mostly about the fake. As much as the kill, but they set up the util at the wrong time. Zinni, though, pays it off. Beautifully done. And his teammate can cut the rotation. Executor just misses this. You'll hear Mokujin rotating in so he knows where he's coming from. Zinni's job now is to stall, but Moku is aware. The AK upgrade costs precious seconds. You do not have a kit. Cannot be wasting this time. It's desperate. Without the health to boot. Oh, a lethal broadside from Zinni. 4 massive kills found for 4 rounds.
It's looking good. It's looking good. We'll stem from that opening in towards Jaguar. Lamps Cave. Whatever you want to call it. And a half by forced onto Spirit Academy. Starting to look good for this T side. Their money is blossoming too. Mac 10's in early. Seen this quite a few times actually, haven't we, already against the Pistols? They're using these to create space. They don't really care if they lose one. It's simple. But good CS. Good for a reason.
Some damage done, but no casualties just yet. Oh. Barely did anything, but it did spook me. It's a very effective nade.
Really do take their time on these rounds.
It's an interesting contrast, right, to what we were getting at the beginning of Nuke, which is very straightforward play.
Yeah, I think
it's also funny because they've ended every round here on
I
B.
think, particularly against these Pistols, that has been a common trend in this series. Potentially a difference between these teams is that Rush B, they seem to change gears a lot better for me than the Spirit Academy. They clearly like an aggressive terrorist round. They don't have to play that way.
I love the conditioning in this one. It's right as I'm saying they finish every round on B. Spirit Academy are surely saying the same thing. And then Rush B throw a late fake and swap sides. Very effectively done. Totally hoodwinked Spirit Academy here. While Saifa will get one parting shot, chances of a round retake are slim to none.
Again, it's just the Mac 10. It's almost frustrating to only get that out of it. Cypher's actually sticking around for a moment, but nobody's exiting in his direction. Okay. 3 AK saved. 5-1 for the underdogs. Of course, we questioned the lack of pauses, perhaps, for Spirit Academy on the defense of Nuke, the opening map of this series. I think we can rightly start having that discussion again. They need to discuss these rounds. Where are Rush B getting into them? How are they falling apart in the mid-round? What changes do we need to make? No pause. Hope they got a plan.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I'll tell you who's got a plan. It's Executor, and his plan is to hit them straight in the face, demolish anything that they've got going. Spirit Academy, whatever they discussed in freeze time, it is gone. It is destroyed, deleted. The double entry middle followed up with the cleanup of the Jaguar player. This round is over. Sypho and Alcaran may not know it yet, but they've got a sneaking suspicion, a sinking feeling in the pit of their stomachs, and aggression back in. There's too many on the other side. They'll get you nowhere.
I'm almost surprised they didn't just cut their losses and play two on the same site there. It's only going to be Alcaran the saves, and even that could be called under question soon. What a brutal round from Rush B. An absolute gut punch.
This is reminiscent of the beginnings of Nuke.
It is, yeah.
Where, you know, on Anubis, even when rounds were being won by Rush B, they were being constantly contested. They were a brawl. And the same was true later in Nuke. But Spirit Academy did come out flat, and here they have found themselves very flat again.
Of course, we just saw on the T side of Nuke that Rush B are just fearless to make moves early and make Spirit feel very uncomfortable. Now, this round, obviously, Executor alone with help of some flashes from Texley. More of an individual play than perhaps what we saw on Nuke, but that's more the map, I think, than any real indicator.
Reminder, of course, Spirit won the pistol.
Yeah.
This has been 6 rounds in a row.
They've won 4 out of 5 pistols. And they're looking in trouble. Half buy for the CT side. This can be pretty punchy on a map like on Ancient playing up close. We'll see if we can get this AWP engaged. Alcaran has that over towards B. Some early util to try and bring his cave players into play.
I don't mind the double up here, but it does feel like you need to get some sort of aggressive information. And of course, on the CT side, if you don't have those mollies, if you don't have those deep flashes and smokes, it's tough to get past this point.
Rush B weren't born yesterday. I mean, they know they're up against a lesser buy. They know that there's a lot of up close and personal positions here in and around this kind of cave area on B. So I don't think they're going to present easy fights. And Spirit Academy, having just cleared out this whole B position, think they have the one up with information, but we know better with our X-ray view.
This is such a good read from Rush B, right? Having that deep smoke out of cave for the window peak, having it in towards door, knowing that they likely cleared, anticipating that they've shifted the stack and shifting your own focus instead.
Yeah.
Still, these mollies do tip them off, so now a second player can come back through. That's Sypho with the rifle. But now Spirit Academy, they just don't have the info anymore. They don't know which way this is coming.
The one factor here, though, is time. Rush B need to make a move, and quickly. They're not going to have a lot of opportunities to, force a rotation, then go. They need to make a decision here. Still have players in mid. Still have Texley towards A. It's going to be an A split, and they need to go right now.
They've overcooked. They're into the stacked site again, but there's not a lot of weaponry. Still 15 seconds is a problem. Need these kills quickly, and Kyosuke is a big thorn in their sides. Still a deagle here out from the big box. Bomb will be planted barely in time, but it's the one survivor, and Executor cannot get away. Overcooked that one, left in the oven too many times. They had the right idea on the first rotation, but the switch back, they falter.
It's just the time. Just the time. Even going into 3A, I don't think it's that scary if you can do it slowly. They didn't have that option available to them. It's a little bit too slow. I also, part of me was disappointed they didn't silently go back into B. They did a full re-clear with mollies and the lot. I understand why. I understand why you'd want to be clinical, but with the time remaining, maybe it wasn't the best move. It's also that they had the read correct. It was just 1B. And you can't really punish that if you're going to make all that noise. So, and we've used this word a lot, another lifeline handed, I think, to Spirit Academy in this series.
Most definitely. You got to follow it up here now. It's such an injection of capital as well, considering what they had to work with in the last. I think we could all use an injection of capital right now. Robo can inject some bullets. And now, this is the difference that utility makes for a CT side. Look at this. Look at the aggressive control they can stake. Look at the kills that they've already found. Now they've got mid lockdown. Now they got B main lockdown. Now you got to try and fight through this choke point into them. They've set the battle lines.
Wow.
But still somehow
nobody
Rush
B.
B emerge.
Oh my lord. That should have been an unwinnable position, and somehow they've got a chance in this after plant.
Oh boy. Moku's very lucky not to be punished there, and then Nade follows it up, so the health comes back to Cost Rush B. It falls to Kiro. Hero moment. They'll swing in, gives him the first isolated fight. That smoke's still up. Kiro repositions, slips back into the cave. Now it's Kyosuke, the next one to bring him the brawl. They'll play together, try and swing off of each other, but Kyosuke's ahead. Gun barrel spotted, and anticipation from Kiro, knows where the last is, and Kiro with the clutch!
He's had a few of those this series.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, that's probably the best so far.
Finding the gun barrel of Kyosuke and anticipating where the next player's coming from, that is game sense out the wazoo.
They had no idea he repositioned. I had a feeling after they heard the rescope that they might have known, but I guess it's just a little bit too hard to tell if that was cave or mid-sight by the pillar. They had no idea, did the Spirit Academy. And what should have been a slam dunk doesn't go their way. They fall flat on their face, do the defense. Kyosuke, though, opens up this one. Aggressive mid. Robo to chime in from the cave, too. So another round where they dominate the fight for map control. Please do not get overzealous, guys. Too many times in this series have we wasted opportunities. This can't be another. Play together.
Peek come in. With the first kill already found, this still should be fine. You've got reinforcements here from Kyosuke, though Kyosuke shifting back towards the site. Meanwhile, Robo wants to battle forward. There's still a minute. There is plenty of time for this to get off the rails. Give him the chances. Spirit Academy hubris. Their constant undoing. But Texley sticks around on the bomb. Mokujin, does he anticipate this? Or does he think that Texley slipped away? Texley had no information on where Moku was coming from. So it's all about who works out. Positioning first, and it's going to be Texley. Slips around the pillar. Shot to the back of the head. Magnificent clutches in back-to-back rounds. That one should have been unwinnable.
I can't believe it. Of all the rounds in this series that have seen Spirit be overzealous and over-aggressive, that might just take the cake.
Hubris and lack of discipline. Every player on Spirit believes that in a 1v1 fight, they're winning the duel, and it's causing them to take unnecessary risks over and over and over again.
When are they going to learn that lesson? Is it going to take them losing this series? I thought Anubis, particularly the 3-on-1, I thought that would have been the end of the shenanigans, but it's happening again, man. It's really reminiscent of Nuke, is this map. we've seen so far.
Yes.
Spirit Academy, if we just watch the first 30 seconds of these rounds, they might have been at the advantage, at least to the gun rounds, 60, 70% of the time. Yet they're down 2-8.
This round is not live.
No.
In case you haven't seen the jump on your teammate's head and spawn before, it's not an actual strategy. It is tomfoolery and shenanigans. We will just get a quick match medic and be right back with it. Wow. These just back to back having these rounds come against you. The first one is brilliance coming through from Kiro. The second one still requires some individual brilliance from Texley, but it requires you give him the opportunity. And that's exactly what they do, right? That's the mistake. There was, even with all of the mechanical brilliance and the read, there should have just been no opportunity to even attempt it.
It's just getting way out of control.
It seems like we might have a moment here to sort out this issue, folks. So we're going to be right back when it is, in fact, resolved. We are back in, as we're ready to hop back into the server. Thanks for bearing with us for that one. Maybe a little bit of a breather for Spirit Academy. They couldn't necessarily communicate because they need to shake off two very bad man advantage situation losses. And this time they're going to go aggressive towards middle.
Exactly the same.
Okay, so this time, Alan, surely they can't give it back.
Play much more reserved. Okay.
Sophic actually got out the ruler and wrapped each of them on the knuckles. Now they're going to keep it a little more buttoned down.
Just need to play together, which isn't normally such a big ask. Still, though, I need a moment of magic to get back into this round rush B. They're not being presented with overzealous CT players. Someone needs to craft a way into this round. Texley goes looking. They're all coming from the same position. And I don't think they're going to get an easy fight. Smoke. Sort of annoying at the end of it. And with 30 seconds to go, I think they might just have to go through this one.
Flashbang. Explode. Oh, and Kyosuke just locks him down. 3 big kills in this round. I don't think he's been enjoying the tossed advantages. Hero. I was gonna say, gonna try and punish the HUD, but Kyosuke will go unpunished. Smack back the other way, showing why he might be moving on from this squad.
Because we saw it at the end of that first half on Nuke, where at some point he just starts playing like a man possessed, angry. You can see it in that round. Nonetheless, round 12, a last of the first half here in regulation on Ancient. Best case scenario is 4 rounds for the defense, and a rush B, true to name, is what we're seeing. Massive spray down, and it's just the AWP that remains. Surely it's going to be 4 for the CT side. They can't make another myriad of mistakes.
Oh boy, but here we go. Here's that
my God.
hubris. Here's that hunt. There's no reason for it. We've already seen Kiro win 1-1v3. That was in a post plant. This time he's got more work to do, but Kiro's going to go for the big route around. They're thinking he's going to stay posted on an angle, but he's going to go creep and he's going to get active. And he's got a minute still to cook with. 24 bullets in this gun.
They must be aware this is a possibility now that Cypher's pushed. They must be prepared for this.
Coming back. If he just posts up, it's going to require a missed shot. Gun barrel spotted, and no missed shot indeed. So, opportunity denied, but it's still a massive half for Rush B, as we'll be right back.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
Miles past, turning back, found my track, face the fact, she a cold one. Never gonna settle for none. Stay up every night till I won. Don't want a slow rise now. I'm confident opulence isn't a long ride out. When I look back now, I'm astounded. A quiet boy from old age, but always felt the world was a stage, yeah. I celebrate one last late night. My old life ain't staying.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
I'm headed to LA.
Miles, throw it on the dash. Shit, 10,000 hours, can't let them pass. Yeah, well, I was putting time in, you was pulled up wildin'. You always had shit to say, now when I see you, it's silence. Thought I have a Grammy by 25. Commas after commas next to dollar sign, yeah. To remind myself why I'm living this life. Look at all the late nights, it'll all come in due time, yeah.
Made for the fight, for the pain and the climb. Tied to the life I chose. Stay through the night, another day, not a dime. Race against time. I couldn't just lay by and wonder what I could have made mine. I'm closing on the moment, no one's gonna hold me down.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
Back in for our final half of play, and it's a substantial lead for Rush B as Spirit Academy find themselves on the wrong side of far too many clutches in the first. It's recoverable, but they're going to need to put in some serious work to get there. Still, they are on the attacking half. Their favorite side here, Alan. Do you believe?
They need a pistol. And they have picked the right site. Just Executor here to surpass. Zinni, though, through the smoke, makes it difficult. Man advantage. There's a kit as well. Retake time, baby.
Flash. Oh, this is a nice idea. Use the one flash to great effect. Get a couple kills. There's one back the other way. And, oh boy, Texley. Texley clearing out here in the temple. Prayers may be required from Spirit Academy, as it is just Mokujin. A kit still available and plenty of time to use it.
To buy or not to buy will be the question now. Because we saw Rush B buy and then got a massive tirade of rounds in that first half. Looks like an eco to me. Just the Deagle on Kiyosuke. Nope.
Oh, all right.
Last minute call.
Hold on.
Guys, you need...
The force signal is in the air.
You need to pause if you're going to buy like that. How is everyone going to be on the same page with a decision that late?
The page is just click head. Texley's gained a lot of information off of this page. Studied the texts. Brought an Executor back into support, though, just with an MP9 and not a lot of utility for the CT side. There are some limitations on the angle he's taking. Really wouldn't fancy this fight with the MP9. But Texley, off the rifle, takes the information he's given to great effect. And now, at this point, bomb dropped. Texley, bullets maximized. It all falls to Kyosuke, and this force buy gets them just about nada. If anything, it just hand delivers the Galils in for upgrades over to Rush B.
Yeah. Getting a little bit out of control now. Texley's put in a fantastic map 2 and map 3. Been fabulous. And Spirit Academy forced onto another very limited eco. Kiyosuke gets body armor. Clearly wants some fights. See if we can find any. And your nades raining in for now. Kiro is taking extremely low. Get out of dodge, brother. Let your teammates do the dirty work. Damage here still matters. Spirit Academy are going to have a really tough time with this half if they just allow lots of money. Boost is a nice idea.
Okay. Think you might give it. Spots it, and the damage comes back the other way. So they have gained a lot of ground. Possibility of a bomb plant exists, unless Zinni can lock in these kills. Can't do so. Bomb crosses. There may not be much to defend it with. But if you swing, there's going to be nothing indeed. It all falls to Kyosuke. So that moment for a bomb plant quickly passes. Let's see if Kyosuke, no, cannot bring in the clutch. Round gets expensive. They are running out of room for these moral victories.
Ooh. Still no pauses as well. What is the move? You have so little margin for error. Let's see. For now, 4 players heading towards B for this terrorist side. Bomb is in that direction as well. Zypho here goes looking early. Any teammates in tow. I think they might just go in for a play here. Alcarin is posted up. Riflers could make a move. In the meanwhile, mid is seeded. So B-bomb site is taken, but utterly surrounded at this T side. It is not a given getting this bomb down whatsoever.
Oh boy. Mokujin might have created a little bit of space, but now he has to do it all. 3 more kills to find an ace required of him. And it's desperation. Shots through smoke, just sending up prayers. A bullet will finish him, and Kinky will deliver. Zinni locked that one down, and it's map and series point found for Rush B.
That could be it. Could be it. You know, I said before the map, what happens if Spirit stops making mistakes? Maybe I should have asked the other question of, what if Rush B clean up their early rounds and Spirit still make the mistakes? Well, you end up with a 12-4 scoreline, don't you?
Mid controls conceded, so at least there's something here to work with, but they're going to try and phase the smoke. Flashbang hits a bad bounce. A very bad bounce indeed. Texley now gets support, and these mistakes will cost. Once again, it falls to 1, and for the last time, the mistakes may have just done them in. Alcarin at least has the bomb to work with, so there's the possibility of the rotation. He's going to threaten it, go back.
No chance.
Kinky posted with Executor behind him. Even getting in towards this site is going to be tough. Much less defending the plant should it go down. Molotov to Tickle. Fortunate spread. But as soon as Kinky spots, and Kinky has spotted, Kinky will drop Alcarin. Dominant victory here on Ancient for Rush B. They lock in the series. They are moving on into the playoffs of this season of the ESL Challenger League.
Very well deserved. Said it throughout the series. Unequivocal. The Rush B were the better team. On this map, probably better individually too, and we saw what happened. Rush B will progress. It will be a match against Aurora for Spirit Academy to stay alive. That will be tomorrow. And they need to lick their wounds. Maybe a demo review too, because we know they're capable of more. We saw in the rounds, the number of advantages they were in that they couldn't convert was disparaging, to put it mildly. They got some work to do.
They have some serious work to do. That is definitely the case. The fireworks were on display. The individual prowess was as well, but also all of the errors, the lack of discipline, and for Rush B, finding the way to punish it, finding the big moments in the clutches that they never should have been allowed. I mean, it's a tremendous run for them. I think this map of Ancient was just as much about how good Rush B were as the mistakes that Spirit made, but there were certainly plenty of those mistakes to exploit. That is going to wrap up our broadcast for now. South America is coming up in just a few moments, so don't go anywhere, folks. We'll see you next time here on the ESL Challenger League broadcast.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, Faceit.